Alright, let's get funny.
Justify your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Please do so. This is one of the things, liberals expect you to believe all sorts of things that aren't true. And one of the things that they expect you to believe that isn't true, possibly the most ridiculous one, is that anyone has ever wanted to fuck her. Who would I sit with?
Please join me in welcoming the most fabulous supervillain on the internet himself, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Let me broaden your worldview.
Is this what it will take to put these lefties in their place? You gotta get an English dude.
What would you rather your child had, feminism or cancer?
Yep. And 22,000 people voted, and people voted in favor of cancer. 20, 25, got some feminists throughout. 30. So, I can tell from the ones who haven't washed their hair in a while.
Oh shit. Ow.
My employers are wonderful, so supportive and brilliant. They let me write whatever the hell I want. But this is the one that they said, "Oh, are you sure you want to do that?" I said, "Well, my Grindr profile says blacks only. Is that racist?" Although, of course, I wouldn't put blacks only because that might put some people off. I'll do words that create the same effect, like don't contact me if you're under 7 inches and you know who your dad is. I know that you probably don't watch any pornography anymore because since you've been with your partner for so long, you probably barely have sex anymore. More like a lesbian.
Go ahead.
And you should go and listen to me, and you should also go and listen to feminists, and you should go and listen to Black Lives Matter activists, and you should work out who you
Not
like
saying
the
I
best
agree
at the
with
end
this,
of it.
but at
Now,
least
the
he's
problem
getting free
is,
speech out.
you're listening to bad sources because you come here and you're sort of under your breath almost, not as loudly as you said anything else, but under your breath you sort of said, blah, blah, blah. You kind of wanted to get it under the radar, you wanted to say it without me having an opportunity to dispute it. Fuck you. How fucking dare you call me a white supremacist? The amount of black dick that's been in my mouth. It's really, I must be the most self-loathing white supremacist in the world. I'm asking you to justify your allegation that I'm a white supremacist. Please do so. This is one of the things, liberals expect you to believe all sorts of things that aren't true. And one of the things that they expect you to believe that isn't true, possibly the most ridiculous one, is that anyone has ever wanted to fuck her. Who would I sit with? Only Rosie O'Donnell. No. Who else do I like? No. In some states, that's bestiality, Norwegian people are very strange, and it's partly because they've got too much money, because they've got all these natural resources. They have this whaling festival, and every year there's always a story about someone who gets caught at about 3 a.m. fucking a whale corpse. Always happens, and it always puts me in mind of Amy Schumer. I got you. I don't trust you as far as I can fucking throw you.
Trust the camera.
Don't worry about. No, I don't trust any of you. BBC, give me a break.
Milo declares himself a provocateur,
I don't entirely believe in lesbians.
prankster, and that no one should be upset by his so-called antics.
If I'm occasionally mean, it's normally because they deserve it. With my name calling and with my provocation and with my bad manners, I think actually America's had enough of nice manners. If my rudeness provokes people into, first of all, saying, "Oh, what a monster," blah, 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 and then 20% of people start talking about what I was actually saying, I will consider my career to have been a terrific success.
Perhaps the targeting of Leslie Jones just contributes to his idea of worldwide success.
I'm sorry for being popular, but I am not responsible for what 350,000 people on the internet say. I am responsible for what I say. Do you go after Selena Gomez when her fans send death threats to Justin Bieber? No.
Nope.
Do you go after Beyonce when her fans go after Taylor Swift? Sure,
That
I was
happened.
mean
You called
to...
her a dude.
I said it's a good job there's a hot black dude in the movie. She looks like a man. I am entitled to say that I think a celebrity looks weird.
You think that's fair comment and
Of course
a
it's fair
decent
comment.
thing
That's
and
like
a
the
civil
definition
thing
of
to
fair
do?
comment.
You
It'll be
think
a civil
that's
thing to do. If you don't like it, don't follow me on Twitter. Here's an example of feminism done right from Vocative. The eggplant emoji is the next front line of online harassment. Again,
Oh, fuck.
the evils of the patriarchy at work.
The thing is that I think this whole campus tour, what you're trying to do is sidestep the entire academic process. Your ideas have not passed peer review. You haven't done your scientific research. You haven't even done anything.
Done a lot more than
You can laugh at me all you want. Go ahead, try to make me into a Triggly Puff.
Could you give an example of something that you learned in that class?
Example. Let me tell you what I've learned in that class.
Isn't everyone?
We have learned that basically.
What did you learn? What you're reading off your phone?
In natural science, social science, and humanities for a lot of these issues. And if you understand the underpinnings, when feminists come to you talking about the patriarchy, you're not going to freak out and think it's some big conspiracy. You're going to understand
Fucking
what they
weirdo
mean.
with the
So I would
dildo sitting there.
encourage
I know.
everyone in this class to sign up. And if you can't do that, go to my YouTube channel, bitch.ly. David underscore.
I literally, so confident am I, that they are the most intellectually lazy people on the planet. I wrote them a guide on how to beat me.
He really did.
Every week.
He really did. These people cannot have an intelligent conversation.
This version of what the left has done to us for so long just shows how empty and platitudinous the crap they shut us down with is.
I just will say I don't really, agree with completely his lifestyle, this, that, or the other thing, but this is literally somebody on their side, what they would consider should be on their side, calling them out for all their hypocrisy, and it is magnificent.
Soon, feminists will be so endangered they really will be like buffaloes. We'll be keeping them in zoos. Those ugly reminders of our hideous past. Sort of, something like a Holocaust museum, The Museum of... Oh, stop it. And you'll sort of walk through this gigantic mouth, of a sort of a hippopotamus. The name was taken away because of supposed crimes against the Indians. So I mean the kind of Indians that drink out of buffalo bladders and got their asses kicked by Columbus. Maybe they should have spent less time doing powwows and more inventing guns or the wheel. Too much for some of you. Too much for Everywhere there is Islam, you will find women oppressed. Everywhere there is Islam, you will find. You're wearing a hijab in the United States of America. What is wrong with you? This is not an ISIS thing. You will see gays being thrown off the roof in ISIS-controlled territories. But this has nothing to do with terrorism. This is mainstream Muslim culture. Your religion does it everywhere your religion exists. It is a threat, an existential threat to gay people. These socially regressive hours, they walk out when they don't like the facts. Why are you leaving? Don't you want to talk about numbers? Would you like to talk to us about why there's no global Muslim peace movement?
Isn't it funny how a Canadian immigrant and a British tourist are telling Americans how great their country is? I'm a conservative. I'm pretty uptight. I'm not bananas about it. I want us all to
Oh god, Gavin McGinnis is funny. They actually make out.
Yeah, and America is the greatest. And as a straight man standing here with a gay man, I would just like to say, fuck you, Islam.
This should have been all over the news, was it? No.
That beard.
Rape threats, death threats made even against recently a woman whose only crime was to support an X Factor contestant. Does social media reveal men's hatred for women?
The end approaches.
The end approaches.
I received 165 pages of Twitter abuse, including about 20 rape and death threats, including unpleasant comments about my appearance, lots and lots of those.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Friday video.
Well, not because, many of them were from Milo, many of them were egged on by him, many of them were encouraged by him, many people were retweeting him, my head photoshopped onto unattractive body. My head photoshopped.
Major general of misogyny.
And the thing is, I'm not particularly interested in a professional provocateur who goes out and says deliberately outrageous things, like I do, turning around the victim when she doesn't like ridicule or criticism.
I don't say anything outrageous.
Ridicule. Let me finish. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish. So stop.
No.
Nature herself. A victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
After she lost the debate, as feminists very often do these days, with facts on their side, she turned around and she did what feminists always do, which is confect a sob story. Now, Kate is, like me, a professional provocateur, but only one of us plays the victim afterwards. Now, it's interesting, if we get back to the question, it's interesting that, that it's even being framed like this at all, because what the research shows, the Pew Global data from 2014 shows, is that actually it's men who get more abuse online than women. It is men who get more death threats, it's men who get more violence threats. The only thing that women beat men at, this is Pew Global data, is the gold standard of research. The only thing that women beat men in is cyber stalking. And guess what? A lot of the people doing the stalking are other women. The great feminist academic Camille Paglia said, if women around the world, we'd all be still living in grass huts. We know what men have done. Men have got us to the moon. Men built the pyramids. Men built the internet. Men did lots of wonderful things. But you're right that what we tend to hear a lot is that what men bring to society is this sort of toxic masculinity, which was alluded to earlier, and all these other sort of ridiculous offenses. It's now open season, particularly if you're white and you're a man. And what feminists don't seem to appreciate the irony of is that they are relentlessly ridiculing people on the basis of skin color and sex. And they don't seem to get the irony there. Not the first time I've had somebody up there today. Right. Here's Hillary hiking, because of course she hikes. Here's Hillary in Whole Foods, because of course she does her own food shopping. She hasn't been in a fucking supermarket for 20 years. It's ridiculous. If rumors are to be believed, I am a candidate for Trump's administration. Secretary of good looks, perfect hair and lovely skin. But I do try to stay away from the subject of Hillary because I don't want to be the subject of an unfortunate bus accident in the next few days. I understand people who reveal embarrassing information about her have a habit of ending up in several pieces on the freeway. Just horrible series of complete accidents. Anyway, so do you know what did she call? She called a couple of us a basket of deplorables. Do you remember that? I have a feeling he's going to sail into the White House anyway. Can you imagine what's going to happen in the debates? Just think about it. You've got Trump, he's like a juggernaut. The guy's like a fucking freight train. It's just like, Hillary, your husband's a rapist and you covered it up. And she's like, isn't it great? And if you don't recognize how amazing that picture is, then you probably contributed to Jill Stein's recount effort. Gender studies is the softest of all the soft subjects, and I speak of softness not in the sense of a feminist belly or male feminist genitals. Have you seen any of these guys? These like lip-wristed, bespectacled Gawker bloggers. Do you think any of them has ever had an erection in their lives? My God. Closest they've come to boning something is like jerking off to anime. Like, give me a break. A man who hates himself and his fellow man so much that he will say and do and believe literally anything that some dumpy fat lesbian blogger tells him because he thinks he might get laid. Well, I can tell you the best these guys ever get, an unsatisfying handy in the back of a car.
Holy shit. Milo is absolutely roasting this stupid cock.
Women don't want this.
Get wrecked, onion boy.
Sorry, darling. You'll never be able to stomp the Milo.
Hi, Milo.
Hi.
I'd like to start saying I've survived cancer twice, and I definitely say...
I know what you're going to say, and so does everybody else, but say it anyway.
I'd rather have cancer than feminism.
Oh, we're still having trouble at the back. 3 down. I think if you take the second left, the airport is just Actually, no, we don't want them there, do we?
We need gender equality so that boys won't be violent. There's a wonderful charity based in Edinburgh called Zero Tolerance, which is teaching gender equality to childminders so that they can teach children that they're equal, they have equal opportunities, and they do it specifically to reduce
So you can brainwash them
to women
into being your sex slaves, you horrible bitch.
We have to teach young boys not to be boys so they won't be violent.
Why is being violent being...
Get out. I'm side, like gender, we teach boys and girls that they're the same, and that's a problem. They are different. When we do experiments on young babies and even on related animals, we know that certain children go for certain toys. Boys and girls are different. To give you some context for all of this, you have to understand a little bit about the history of feminism. There have been two main strands.
And here is our local expert.
Of course, because of course men aren't allowed to speak about anything that isn't to do with men, except no one's really interested. Somebody's wrong. Talk about it.
Well, so,
shine the light on it.
So this guy,
your natural progressive tendencies just slipped out.
All right, so this guy,
you want to put him under the carpet. You want to censor him.
Credit here.
Why are you censoring Joe Bernstein?
So this guy,
Joe Bernstein from BuzzFeed. Joe Bernstein.
There you go.
I want the light. I want the full light of scrutiny on everyone I agree with, so that other people can see they're wrong too.
So this guy basically wrote a piece on BuzzFeed
Joe Bernstein.
this week.
Come on, say it.
Is it Joel? It's Joel.
Joe. Say Joe Bernstein. There we go.
Wrote a piece on BuzzFeed this week. You know what? You once called me a cultural librarian.
Yes, I did, because you're a pussy. Because you're a pussy.
I'm just not that angry.
But the fact is that there is some reason to suppose that there is an advantage to being a man in certain subjects. There's reason to suppose that gender essentialism, biological determinism, whatever you want to call it, the fact that there are male brains and female brains may indeed have some basis in science. Now, this is sort of thrown out of the window completely by feminist female academics who just refuse to accept that there's any reason whatsoever why there might be a gender imbalance. Two things on that. One, actually the science is very much still out on that. And two, if you look at equality in society, if you look, for example, at Bangladesh versus Norway, what you notice is the number of women in science and technology subjects actually goes down as societies get more equal, because women simply don't make the same choices that female academics and feminists would like them to. Women actually don't want to go into the sciences on the whole, and when they have every option available to them, they tend to choose not to.
I don't think that's the issue. I think it's about confidence. Some women, we're talking about some men, from lack of confidence and from something called imposter syndrome, where we attribute our successes to external factors.
All right. I just want to say, anybody, watch to this point, obviously. The main reason I'm putting this on is it is freaking hilarious. And even on top of that, this is a guy that just spills facts out at these morons that want to do nothing but literally destroy our country, pretty much. And they don't even realize what they're doing. And the saddest part is they actually think they're trying to save our country. But this is the pits of hell that we've been dragged into, that it takes a gay English Catholic to come over and admit how disturbingly effed up everything is. That's where we're at, people. And that's freaking disturbing. All right.
And we lack the confidence to actually believe that we are good enough to do it.
Sorry to interrupt you, but if you're going to get put off a career in science because of an offhand comment from a Nobel Prize winner, how committed were you really in the first place to being a scientist?
Women learn in a very different way. Women learn it's
sort of a weird sexist position to take, isn't it? So women can't really take it, so we need to be extra specially careful around them.
Is it different for gay men and lesbian women?
Well, it's brilliant being a gay man because you can get away with murder. You can do anything. I mean, there's the one respect in which identity politics is brilliant. As a gay man or a lesbian, you can basically get away with murder. You can be bitchy, you can be sarcastic, you can be rude and abusive, and you can do whatever the hell you like, and nobody complains.
How truthful was that?
This courtyard. Feel free to step on the street and smoke away, but
thanks for the thumbs up. It doesn't show me you're here. And thanks for being here. It never shows me if people are here, so the thumbs up help, because then usually it shows another subscriber or another person on. So I just want to make sure to reiterate this again. Don't really agree with his lifestyle, but it is funny that it takes a gay Englishman to come over here and explain how screwed up everything is, and he knows his facts, and I love it. So enjoy. Funny Fridays, people. Funny Fridays.
You've come in an exciting outfit today. Do you want to tell us why you're dressed like this?
Because no women should feel ashamed about their body, and just because I'm dressed like this doesn't mean that I want sex from you.
Never give you a notification? That's bullcrap. Okay, well, I'm sure that's because they hate me, and I named the name of this Milo. So I'm sure it was a double red flag not to show it to anybody. So if you can spread it to anybody to start watching and get on and laugh, I would love it. Thank you for being here so much.
Doesn't mean that I want you.
I mean, it's quite sexualized. You have a nipple tassel. I mean, you must want sex from somebody.
What in your view, is behind the support for Donald Trump in this election? What is driving support for Mr. Trump, principally?
Well, it's a number of things. First of all, nobody's really talked about the one thing American voters care about the most, which is immigration. He was the first one to open that discussion up. He's the only person with a good position on it. Second of all is trade, globalism, globalization, sort of unaccountable bureaucratic elites that people are finding
He's a smart guy.
actually don't run things very well, whether it's the Olympics, the EU, the UN, or anything else. And third, particularly,
Sorry, let me see if I can fix this picture. I
is
apologize.
political correctness and free speech.
Okay, you said Muslims like gang rape.
Well, I said they were going to bring their delicacies with them of pork chops, yogurt, and gang rape.
You said lamb,
if you're not,
to be fair.
actually, it might be lamb chops. Of course, it would be lamb chops. If you're not prepared to read the comedy into that statement, and you think that that is a literal expression, then I can't help you.
No, but that's what I'm asking you about. Are you concerned that people are becoming confused between what is comedy and what is serious political comment, and that they can't listen to any of it because they just take offense?
No, I think you'd have to be so stupid to mistake my comedy routines and stand-up. I don't believe that anybody is so dumb that they can't tell the difference between a piece of political analysis and a joke. If you're one of those people, there's really no hope for you, and I don't care.
Exactly.
What I do want, however, is to desensitize people to this offense-taking, grievance and victimhood culture. And if the way to do that, if the way to respond to outrage culture is to be outrageous, which it seems to be working, by the way, I'm winning on college campuses for sure, then so much the better. I simply don't take the charge seriously that people can't tell the difference between jokes and fact. This is a typical transgender individual.
When you make liberals crazy,
Yes.
that part of liberalism that has gone off the deep end.
Most of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
You're the only good one.
No, he's
literally
still
the only good
douchebag.
I am so
He's
sorry.
Side has
some
gone
not
insane.
funny, but a
The
dude.
Democrats are the party of Lena Dunham. These people are mental, hideous people. The more that America sees of Lena Dunham, the fewer votes the Democrat Party is ever going to get. This is the people that should
Let's
fight.
not pick on fellow HBO star. So you don't hire gay people.
Oh no, you can't trust them to show up to work on time. Too much sex, they never show up to work, always making excuses. No.
It has not for days. Is there a time that you go live? Has not for days. Is there a time that you go live? I try to shoot about 11 or 12. I'm sorry, I'm kind of off here and there. I know I did like 4 live feeds and then went off for a minute and then came back. But yeah, it just really depends on when my night wraps up and I have enough time to come out and do it. But between 11 and 12, I apologize not getting the live feeds. What's hard for me too is it's really I'll start looking around that time then. Awesome, thank you. One of the hardest things is for me, I like to say, hey, I'm gonna go live, this, that, or the other thing at this time, and then something will come up. So I try not to say I'm gonna go live unless I'm going to, maybe I'll give an hour, half an hour before sometimes. But things can come up so much that I hate to say I'm gonna go live and then I'm not able to until, later on. So I think that's why I kind of have a problem with doing that.
I mean, not as
I
bad
try.
as women, but no, I don't hire
But
gays.
that's not.
Oh, there we go.
But that's
Just kidding. You're easy. You're very easy. Very easily triggered. It's pathetic.
Lots of letters sent to my office that were very racist. People would phone me up and scream really racist things. They would send me pictures of monkeys hanging in trees with saying, go back to your hut, go back to your jungle. This country is just as racist, just as white male privileged as it has always been.
Oh my god. What? A broad from the Congo climbing on the Statue of Liberty? Sorry.
Mystical energy that surrounds women, not women haters!
Sorry, I didn't know I was going to turn it up and get
A
it.
wild faggot desperate for sex appear. Take his coat. Leave him in the cold outside.
Sorry, I didn't know the blowhorn was going to come on.
No, confiscate the coat. You can't win.
I think it's clear. I mean, as anybody who has witnessed three girls fighting over one man can attest, women can't agree on anything. They can't agree on the methods to anything. They can't even run a female liberation movement. Look at the history of feminism. I mean, look how many different definitions of feminism. You're entitled to define it how you want, but other people don't agree with you. Sorry, you don't get the monopoly. And in fact, your version of feminism is this big now. Most feminists are batshit crazy progressives. That's not what feminism means anymore. I'm sorry, I agree with you on loads of that stuff, but it's just not what feminism is anymore.
Sorry, this is why I enjoy the thumbs up, because it doesn't even show the person is here most of the time unless they give a thumbs up. That is the funniest thing, is they are shadow banning the hell out of me. Especially already, and then putting the name on this video like I did. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys.
And the fact that the history of feminism is so fraught with rows and backstabbing and bitching and all these internecine quarrels and renamings and this is feminism. Well, you have to look, what does feminism have that no other movements have? It's entirely women.
You claim that this is free speech, but in actuality, I have a point of view that you may or may not respect, and you did not allow me to have a platform to
You have one right now.
I can't. I think.
Do you have a question?
This is how they are.
Okay. My question is, if rape culture is a myth, then explain why Kesha was not allowed to break the contract with her executive when he obviously raped her.
I'm not going to comment on an individual case that I know nothing about. You're obviously better educated in pop culture than I am. I'll have to pass, I'm afraid.
Okay, let's just do one more.
Wait, let's give somebody else a spot. Thank you for coming up, sir. Most gay people, if you ask them, would know where Aleppo was. There's a difference between libertarianism, classical liberalism, and the Libertarian Party. The first one is a perfectly respectable strand of intellectual history. The second is a ridiculous joke. Gary Johnson is not only too unfashionable, but also too fucking stupid to be voted for by any homosexuals. When media figures and feminists and activists and campaigners encourage women to worship themselves no matter what their size and what their shape, actually that just has the effect of making women unhappy. And women have been getting more unhappy decade after decade after decade since the Second World War, since this stuff started to happen.
Okay, we're debating, we're not being offensive, are we?
No.
So what would you say? Okay.
Here it comes.
There's so much wrong with what you just said.
When I said, women are getting more unhappier every decade, I'm not just pulling that out of my behind. Women these days report, as compared to even 50 years ago, they're far more depressed. They're far more likely to report themselves as generally unhappy with life. They're far more likely to be single, and they're far more likely to contemplate suicide. And a lot of this has got to do with the fact that after 30, women do struggle to be happy if they're not in relationships. And part of the reason that many women are not in relationships is you've got these weird celebrities like Lena Dunham, who put sort of, being quivering and blobby and unpleasant as a sort of virtue on our screens, encouraging women to turn themselves into quite unattractive, sort of spectacles. I don't think that's particularly healthy for anybody, but ultimately it doesn't really affect men. It certainly doesn't affect me as a homosexual. It just affects women, since you're making women unhappy. And you probably also eat Kellogg's products. Now, has anybody been following the news today? Yeah, fuck them. Tony the Tiger. It's great. Fuck you!
Okay, it doesn't explain it here, but I have looked into the Kellogg thing. And you literally would have to eat like 14 bowls of their cereal to actually get a nutritious meal out of it. So you're literally just eating nothing but shit. It would take literally 14 bowls to actually get any real nutrition on top of all the poisons and the messed up crap that's in it. It is disturbing. I know he doesn't explain it. I thought I would do that.
Now, Kellogg's make very bad tasting cereals. Oh, look, thank you. Thank you. Was it you? Thank you if it was you. Frosted Flakes. We call them Sun-Offs in England, but they're just as shit here. It's like fat people food, isn't it? Oh, fuck them. Fuck Kellogg's.
I think
think of trying being a straight white male for a while.
Thanks for
You
being
should try
here.
it. I don't know if you've seen tits, but they're everything great about bums, but a little bigger with nipples on them. And then vaginas are like assholes, but there's no shit in them. You should really just give it an afternoon. I think you'll be impressed.
There is a wider context in which men are suffering slightly. 10 years ago would have been ridiculous to say it, but very recently we've seen a lot of structural advantages to being a woman crop up in education, in the workplace. Under 30,
yeah, those women with hijabs are like, I ain't felt it too much.
The US now, which is an extraordinary statistic and something that people have to be very, very carefully convinced of because it sounds absurd. But there is a sense in which men, particularly young men, probably men our age haven't necessarily experienced it, but younger men, 20-year-olds, there's an enormous problem. I read about this last year. I call it the sexodus of men checking out of society, checking out of relationships, giving up on women, giving up on careers. They don't bother to go to university anymore. Now more women go to university. Women get higher grades at university. More women graduate from university.
Okay, that's not MGTOW. That's just people living in mommy's basement.
Men and women have flipped, and very recently.
No, that's
incorrect. Young men,
when you go
may I be allowed to finish? Sorry, I'm talking about men, darling. When and he's darling.
I'm talking about men, darling.
This is exactly the problem.
Like, hold on.
Institutionalized.
Okay, so sorry, and I do want your guys' comments because we can pause this. This is a hilarious video. But that's how crazy these bitches are. It's like you don't have a right to say anything about women because you're a straight white male, but he's a gay male, so he has a little bit of right to say something about women. But he really, he gives his piece, but he's like, now I'm talking about men. And I'm giving you the understanding as being a gay man and being a man. And she's interrupting him for him giving the knowledge that he knows or that he thinks or whatever that he feels. And it's just freaking hilarious. These rank ass freaking ladies they don't care. They're just, it's all me, it's all, I mean, this is literally, we're letting Satan control us. And this is what it is brainwashing. This is of Satan. And people don't even see it. And I laugh my ass off. It takes a British gay white man that is just a crazy freak, funnier than hell, to actually come and actually do anything to make us open our eyes. It's insane.
Sexism, and you're just sitting here doing it flagrantly and without even apologizing.
Well, we just heard that it was an essential characteristic of men that they were violent a minute ago. So
No,
I guess
we did not.
That's
Nobody
exactly
said
what
that.
she said.
Nobody said that. That's just a lie.
We need gender equality so that boys won't be violent.
What?
This is where the magic happens. Got my Trump jersey, got my whiteboard for my random thoughts. It's my Xbox, so I can phone some noobs. Fucking faggots! There you have it, faggots. Get out of my crib.
I don't know. I hope everybody
Well,
watching
I mean,
this
the point
is my happy
the
Friday
gap is
video.
there still, and older women in particular suffer more from it from younger women. We shouldn't just leave older women, to flounder, should we? Just because they were part of a generation where it was even more difficult for them to
Making a specific
get on.
explanation about where these figures come from, and you haven't really addressed the point that I'm making. What I'm saying is that you can only create this gender gap when you take a broad brush across all genders, all sectors, all work. That doesn't reflect the different choices people make, and employers shouldn't be forced to pay a full-time salary to somebody who works part-time. You haven't come up with a solution to that, and you haven't addressed the problem with the figures, which is that no serious economist treats the gender pay gap as a problem to be solved. No economist thinks this is a problem because they realize what I'm
Is that
explaining.
male economist or female economist, just to be clear?
You should know by now that when Milo laughs, it's game over for you
Yeah,
stupid
no,
feminist bitches.
it's not good.
Well, I mean, where I get most of my figures on this from is from a feminist female academic, Christina Hoff Sommers at the American Enterprise Institute in the US. If you were a porn viewer, you may be familiar with the genre of porn in which sort of white husband watches his wife get rammed by a large black man. Now, it's not always a large black man; it's sometimes others, whatever. And this is cucking. This is cuckoldry from Shakespeare. And I think Chaucer too, where and it wasn't anything to do with race. I don't think it's specifically to do with race. It's just sort of become a bit of a porn genre as well. Anyway, the idea is it's people who have sold out and are enjoying watching their wife, their country, their people that they're supposed to look after, whether it's readers in the case of journalists or it's constituents in the case of politicians, getting fucked by some scary external force, whether it's radical Islam or mass immigration or whatever. Now, it's metaphoric. It's a metaphor, you know, and it's a perfectly good and perfectly fun, vibrant sort of metaphor. I quite like it.
Okay. So did everybody understand and get that? And think about that. Think about the people that aren't doing any research, that just have emotion from this or that because what they've heard off of CNN, what their teachers tell them, whatever, and done no real freaking research. And what's even worse is the ones that are running these bastards are people that do understand what's going on and they know exactly what they're doing, and they are cucks. It is sick. That's what I like about him. He explains a lot of good stuff as being very funny.
Fight with everybody.
Don't! We were having such a nice time, but you always invite such awful people on your show. They're so stupid. No, come on. You need to start.
He even admitted it. I'm pretty awful.
So this is going to be disaster.
We are all about the First Amendment here, and Milo, go for it, brother, because I think what they did to you in Berkeley was atrocious.
Larry, somebody panders to gays while taking money from Saudi Arabia. I'll take Trump any fucking day. The only reason I've supported any candidate for the Republican Party is because it's Trump. Never supported a Republican before. I think they're particularly nice people in many cases. What do you mean by unbiased? Do you think the New York Times is unbiased?
What is your view on Islam?
As a gay man, I'm very comfortable with Donald Trump's statements, although he made a few different statements with varying degrees of firmness on this subject. I'd be very comfortable with a halt on Muslim immigration. I would wish that had happened in London. It isn't radical Islam, it's Islam that is the problem. That is my view. I don't particularly like the way that European cities are changing. I think Germany is a horror show. I think London has changed dramatically in the last 10 years. And what happens in America matters for everybody else. What happens in America matters most. And I don't want America to go the same way.
Do you consider yourself a white nationalist? Isn't that what some people would think of when they hear of like the changing face of places like
No, I'm talking about culture, not race. No, I'm talking about culture, not race, and it's typical of someone like the BBC to try to conflate the two, because what they want to do is to suggest that if you're proud of your country and the ideals on which your country is founded, that somehow makes you a racist. It doesn't. I'm not talking about skin color. I don't care about skin color. All my boyfriends are black. I don't give a toss about skin color. What I do care about is values and ideas, and the regressive social attitudes of Muslims in the West are terrifying, absolutely terrifying, and organizations like yours won't report on them honestly, accurately, or fairly.
There we go.
It's left to other places to do it. And then what you do is, once you've failed to report on them accurately, is accuse people who are concerned with some justification.
Okay, so this is Happy Friday laughing at ourselves that we have to have a gay Englishman come over here and tell us how stupid we are and how much we're messing up. Give it a couple of minutes and you'll start getting it. It's funny. And he is actually married to a black guy. Yeah, he is. No, but, trust me, I don't agree with his lifestyle, anything like that. But, hey, to each their own, and I think he's one of the greatest. I would go be his bodyguard. I would protect this guy. I would stand shoulder to shoulder with this guy because of the values that he has. And he knows the straight white male is under attack. But, all right, let's get back to it. Happy Friday. We're laughing at him just destroy people.
About the changing nature of their culture, not race, in their countries, is you then accuse them of being white nationalists. That's pretty disgusting.
Let me be clear, I'm not accusing you of anything, I'm just asking.
Well, white nationalists. It's one of those.
It's a question, not an accusation.
Would you ask anyone that? Would you just go randomly ask anyone? Hi, madam, I've never met before. Are you a white nationalist? No, you don't do that. You're doing it because you want to suggest that there is something nefarious about my belief system. You're doing it because you want to associate my admiration for American ideals, my admiration for what happens in America, and saying that matters everywhere else, freedom, democracy, property, capital. You want to sort of associate that with race. I never did that. You did that. And then ask me whether I'm a white supremacist, ask me if I think white people are better than others.
Ouch.
I'm considering studying like pre-law,
and
I'm like debating, and there's something so, it's very impressive how you debate. It's quick, and it's really, it's
There's a big butt coming, isn't there?
I'm giving you a compliment.
Then I accept it wholeheartedly.
Okay, and it's funny. So this is a two-parter. Forgive me, but okay. So there is this like everybody like saw the like feminism is cancer thing on like in the library and got torn down and stuff, right? Like
Whoever did that deserves a slap on the bottom. Horrible behavior.
Oh my goodness. It's funny, and then like so the music about Breitbart. So they had this video, and it was like, would you rather have your child be a feminist or have cancer? And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, the students at Michigan did that. Was funny.
Yeah. So and they like promoted it.
Yes.
It's
No, they are so sorry. This broad is just so stupid, and she's just backhanded. So I don't mind cutting her off. All right. So no, it is so funny how they say, "Oh, Nazis, Nazis," and it's like you guys are actually acting really like the Nazis, and they don't get it. They're so brainwashed. It's sad. All right, hit a thumbs up, and then it at least shows me that you're here. All right, there we go.
So my freshman year of high school, I was diagnosed with cancer, and
Just so you know, she's lying about having cancer, so that Milo looks bad for comparing it to feminism.
I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had stage 4 cancer like, from my neck down to like my pelvis. So like that's where all the tumors were. But like I'm also, and I hate to break it to you, I'm a feminist too. So like would you tell like what would you tell my parents like when I was diagnosed and like almost about to die? Would you be like, I'm so sorry that you also believe in like equality of the sexes? Like that's so
See. I would quote my favorite rapper, and I would say, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
Oh, ouch.
Next question, please.
Okay, well, wait, no, it's a two-parter. I said it was a two-parter.
All right, go ahead. You've been a good sport. Go ahead.
You seem to be really angry with feminists from cancer, and I just feel so bad. Like,
no, I'm not angry with feminists with cancer. You seem to misunderstand how humor works.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really don't understand humor. I'm just a woman, so I mean.
Happy Friday. I guess it's Saturday now, right?
It's not what you're doing. The next question. Thank you very much.
No, I'm not done. So when I did
So, the following clip shows a feminist debating that women as good as men at playing chess. Can she stump the Milo, or will she be sent back to the cotton fields with shame? Let's find out.
It's almost victim blaming in a way to suggest that the reason why there's an overrepresentation of a particular kind of person is because the other kind of person isn't quite up to it. Like, it's ridiculous. If that was the case, we don't live in a meritocracy. So
It's nice to have these sort of vague, waffly, sort of everyone has varied interests. What the science suggests is that, for example, when it comes to IQ is distributed differently between the sexes. Now, IQ gets a really bad rap because it's not a great indicator of some things. It's said to be biased towards white people, whatever. The point is that it tests, in this case, it tests all of the skills that make you good at chess really well. It's about puzzles, it's about games, exactly the skills that make you good at chess, make you good at IQ. Now, the way that IQ is distributed differently in the sexes is that women tend to cluster around the mean. Women are more likely to have an IQ that is somewhere near the average, whereas men go right to the top or right to the bottom more often, which is why you get great genius male artists and philosophers, but it's also why men fill all the prisons, because men seem to occupy more of the ends of the IQ scale. And now IQ is pretty much the best measure we have to predict whether somebody will be good at chess.
What it proves, and what it also proves, is that men and women can talk forever. It's been a pleasure talking to you both. We're going to leave it there. Thank goodness we're all different.
Yes, indeed. Thanks.
You see how that is?
You tell who lost the debate.
You see how it is? They're like, you gotta shut that shit down. It's like...
There is one thing about this college, however, that I've got to tell you I'm not so fond of. And his name... His name... I hear he's fond of bullying conservative students. Has anyone been in a class with this guy? You have. What's the worst thing he's done to you? Has anyone got a horror story? Yeah, what's he done to you? If you don't agree with my opinions, you're going to get an F. Well, if that's what gays look like, I don't fucking like them either. And as an announcement, if you show up to that instead of this, you'll get extra credit. We're bribing students with better grades not to show up to listen to to conservative opinions because he doesn't like the speaker. What a fucking idiot. These people are professors. These people teach you. I'm so terrified for you. How much are you guys paying to be here? Why do we automatically assume just because he's old and doddery and he's...
I think this guy could just be a good professor, even like Jordan Peterson. He might not have all, but just his understanding of just like the world has lost their minds. I think it'd be better to do this instead of, lesbian dance. Might be a little bit better off learning what the world's like.
White hair and he sounds like a crazy old lunatic. Oh, he must be a nice guy. Everybody saw it and everybody thought the same thing. God, Milo must have a point. That's what they thought. All right, I think I can do another couple. Is that oh, it's a furry at the back. Oh, look at you. Yeah. Oh, no, I saw you earlier. Yes.
Meow, 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 meow. Can you hear?
Are you fresh from yiffing?
Yeah.
Have you been yiffing today? He doesn't know what it is, you see. You've come in a furry outfit. You don't even know what furry sex is. Do your homework, sir.
Milo, you are stunning and brave. Your charisma is only matched by your genius. And when you
okay, I forgive you for everything I said a minute ago. They're telling me what I can find funny. Well, that isn't funny. I find AIDS quite funny. I find Islam quite funny. I find all sorts of things that I'm not supposed to... What's that? Aloha Sniper, yeah. I find trannies quite funny. I mean, all these things are inherently very entertaining, but we're told that we can't laugh about them because we're offending someone. Madam, I'm grateful to you for coming, but to be quite honest with you, fuck your feelings. I'm sorry, darling, this isn't the silver-haired snowflake show. This is the Milo show, and it's time for you to go. There's one protester, he's gonna go talk to him.
No fucking way.
Get me over to him.
This is crazy. I almost feel like it's weird. This is weird. But it is sad this is what our country's come to.
Why? What does it say?
Sorry.
Milo, I'm gay too. Do not represent... Well, I've never said I did, darling. I'm the only person here. I don't feel lonely. I don't think I'm talking very much, but I'm going to leave you some water. You get tired, they'll come and they'll bring you in, all right? And come and enjoy the show with everybody else. You poor little angel.
It's weird. It showed me that, that it is. Oh, yeah, that's sad. All right, well, it shows nobody's freaking here. Hello, if you're here.
Well, gender expression is just how you manifest your gender identity in clothing and dress, essentially. And there's no difference between that and fashion. And so I'm telling you, it looks very much like Ontario has already made fashion criticism into a hate crime.
I'm watching.
I think we can all get on the basic idea that giving women the vote was a big mistake.
Yeah,
that's basic.
It's true. Most women didn't want to vote because they knew it.
I mean,
they should be
they've been complaining to me ever
legally, but should they?
Yeah.
No, it's funny. It shows there's. That's why I laugh. I'm getting comments
when you're in
and
bars
it shows there's
and some
nobody
guy wants
here.
to fight you and you're trying to soothe the situation because he's with 4 other people, and then your girlfriend comes up and goes, "You pussy," to him. My boyfriend would kick your ass. You're all dead, and you're sitting there going, "Honey, honey, honey. Take it down a notch, okay? I don't want to fight these 5 guys. My boy, he's gonna kill you. We'll see about that. Can you leave, please?"
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying it doesn't even show one person's on. Now it does.
I am saying that, and I want to make it clear
zero.
because I had this fear of these guys.
No, I knew what you're saying. It's just funny. It was showing that there was 0 people here as you're leaving me messages. That's what I was saying. It's not even showing me 1. And now it does. It's funny.
floating up from the coffin and going, all right, Buster, let's get going. And then what the hell? Hey, I see. And I just see worms coming out of Buster's eyes. And it frustrates me as a heterosexual married to a woman. My wife can get mad and then get unmad. And, you know, my mother especially, I remember her, she'd be screaming. One time I heard, why the fuck did I marry you? No, why the fuck did you marry me? Why the fuck did I marry you? Slam! And the back door slams. And my mom was screaming that at my dad, who I guess he said, why the fuck did I marry you? And I came downstairs and my mom goes, you all right, son? You find you a cup of tea? And I was like, wow, how can they just switch it off like that? I mean, I'm sure my dad was mad for 3 days. I'm sure he was wrong in that. As an alcoholic, as is his son. I talked to a guy who was gay, and he goes, I'm with Kevin Spacey. And I go, can you tell him that I use him and all my friends do? And he's like, no, I'm not saying that. That's really mean. And it never occurred to me that, yeah, you don't want to be known as the guy who can make you not come.
Do you have any problems with him being the president? Is there anything that disturbs you about it?
No, I'm totally open. Like, if he starts fucking with the First Amendment, I'm going to drag him out. I'm not excited about this son-in-law getting a job. That sounds like nepotism to me. What a coincidence. Your son-in-law is the most qualified person for the job. There's times when the tweets can be petty. I don't know why we're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's ratings. And no, I'm not excited about the travel budget, although he is doing a lot of shit. But as far as what we've come out with and the amount of fucking left-wing back padding that we've been through for the past 8 years, I'm fucking ecstatic.
What's the back padding that you're talking about? Like,
we're so wonderful and Obama is so great. And, you know, you come to LA and you realize that everyone in this fucking city thinks Obama did an awesome job. And they also think that Bill Maher is Christopher Hitchens. Like, he's an intellectual demigod in this town.
Bill Maher's?
Yeah, every time I talk to someone, they go, oh, you should talk to Bill. I'd love to see you in a room with Bill Maher. I'm like, that's your intellectual heavyweight? That's your main guy?
I think he would probably agree with you on a lot of things, which would really be...
Fuck capitalism, fuck racism, fuck sexism, Islamophobia, and fuck Trump supporters. What's your biggest problem with Trump?
All his views.
Can you name one?
He's sexist.
In what sense?
The fact that he doesn't support
This is
abortion
what we're fighting
and the
against?
woman's right to choose.
But I think a good 50% of women in America are also pro-life.
A lot of women aren't.
Are you gay?
I am queer.
Oh, you don't use the term gay?
Well, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual.
Oh, I've always been suspicious of bisexual. It seems like a phase.
Oh, well.
I see a lot of old bi people.
Oh, well, you're pretty ignorant.
Okay, well, this has been very enlightening. And I'd be careful going home. I'm not threatening you, I'm saying genuinely.
Well, it seems like a threat.
No, look, I'm with these guys. I'm not going to chase you down the street. But safe travels, friend.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Hey, bye.
Okay, goodbye. Have a nice night.
I mean, of all the things you can say about him, it is kind of brave. I mean, he's a fucking idiot, but he's a brave idiot.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, one of my credos, by the way, is I like to terrify my students. I'm dead serious about that, man. I think if they're not a little bit afraid of me, there's something absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
like
Gavin
the course
is
I
the
teach
shit.
called Maps of Meaning, which is based on a book I wrote about 20 years ago. I mean, one of the things I'm trying to convince my students of is that if they would have been in Germany in the 1930s, the probability that they would have been Nazis instead of
Proud Boy,
oppressed people,
Proud Boys are the shit.
Rescuing heroes is almost 100%.
Right.
And I'll tell you, if you do enough psychological analysis to know that you could have been a guard in the Auschwitz camps, that's not exactly the sort of thing that makes you feel safe. And it shouldn't either, because human beings we have an unbelievable capacity for malevolence, and it often disguises itself in, this kind of smug self-righteousness that characterizes these bloody neo-Marxists that have invaded the campuses and that are in the process of invading the rest of the culture as fast as they can possibly manage it. I'm not their friends, not in the least.
If you're ever driving a car and you see people on the hood of the car looking at you through the windshield, a great game is to drive normal, and their face looks normal, and then as you accelerate, you can see them get more terrified. And it's almost like your gas pedal is on their face.
Right now.
You get to control their face, and you let up the gas, and they go normal, and then...
So I just fucking floored it after playing with their face for a bit and just saw sheer terror. It looked like the Scream. But if a gay's known as a slut in the future, like say a 19-year-old fucks 200 people, as a woman, no one wants to go near. As a gay, you've been around the block. And I've noticed this with girls. I've always said, you can hit a woman if she hits you 12 times. That includes punches in the face. So you just sit there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. And then 11, 12. Well, when I talk to feminists and liberals about this, they go 12, 1. And I go, what? What? You know we're stronger than you, right? They don't want to admit that. Yeah, he's got some show called Racity, Race, Race, Race.
Oh, yeah, well, he was a comedian who I just thought was painfully unfunny. He had that show, and it was really bad. I didn't know he was on CNN. Sorry, continue.
That's all it takes. Just be black and have an angle and whine about race, and you'll go right to the top. Or pretend you have cancer like that Quincy dude. But anyway.
Hey, good to see you.
I'm sick of
Yeah,
tacos,
it's
brother.
bullshit. Give a thumbs up.
It's the best thing Mexicans have done in the past 100 years. It's a stupid...
Yeah, give a thumbs up. I'm here, bro. Because they don't like me, and I named the video even a worse name, and so I'm being double shadow banned, whatever you want to call it. But thank you for being here. Give a thumbs up. If somehow you can tell other people to get here, tell them, because it's not giving anybody notifications or
sandwich. You have to
showing that you're here.
Eat it at an angle.
Thank you for being here.
It falls everywhere. It's a pathetic version of a
By the
hamburger.
way, Gavin doing this is a gif. There's no doubt. No doubt.
Wise man once said that feminism didn't do anything for women but turn them into shitty men. And that really is the scenario with this final wave of feminism. It's got to be the last one, where they go, no, you're just a dude. You're not a woman who gives birth. Don't create lies and shape them. Just be a dude. Do pull-ups for the Marines. Be in the FDNY. Be a cop. Fight. Fight fascists. Ronda Rousey can beat me up, but that's about it. So I don't understand why you are taking on the charge of violence. Let's kill Nazis. Let's kill fascists. I think it's sort of like when you're 7 and you go, you know what I would do if you came at me? I'd go, dish, like that. And then your friend goes, yeah, you do that? I would block it. Then I'd headbutt you. And then I'd put your nose bone through your brain. They're in that phase of their evolution. They're 7-year-old boys.
Dumb.
It's more that stupid movie Kick-Ass. You think Ava Kaufman can beat up anyone at all? Even a sleeping man. He would wake up and go, what the hell are you doing? Psh. Like the white girls would be like, who's your daddy? I'm your dad. And the Jewish girls liked, I'm your property. And they liked abuse. Jewish girls would be like, say I'm a fucking whore.
Vice was great when he was
white girls would be like,
still
daddy
with
issues.
them. I bet.
Asian girls.
All right. Yeah, I bet Vice was the shit too. He was still there because he's awesome, and he was like, fuck, I think he created it. I heard a video, I don't know if it was today or the other day, but he was talking about how like they built it and almost went under many a times, having to figure it out. And they realized they couldn't make money in Canada, but they could make money in America because Canada. It's a funny video, but it's like, yeah, these people they don't want to grow economy, don't want to listen to anything. You got to fight between freaking showing too much spelling of French or English or this weird ass shit. It was crazy.
We're pretty normal. I would do the depraved stuff to them. But the black girls, it was always about jealousy. Tell me you don't want me with anyone else. I just basically act like a jealous asshole and choke me and say, I don't want you talking to anyone else. Meanwhile, it was like fucking a different girl every night. I didn't care what you did. I don't care if I never see you again. But okay, I'm so jealous. Rah! You white, what's going on? Yeah, you're right. How are you? Fuck, we got digital delay or something because I'm speaking when you're speaking.
Yeah, not bad. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, my connection's not brilliant.
It's fucking annoying. Right, do a big long diatribe so I don't have to interrupt.
It's a terrible situation, and I think it's something that you should probably get educated about because I think it's the sort of thing that you'd fucking get really angry about. The sort of thing you'd be able to have good discussions about on your show.
All right, George. Cheers. Fuck that guy. Just kidding, George. Just kidding. All right, George. Cheers. I want pendulous breasts. I want a divorcee with a neck pendulous, like worn out. Just 4 pencils, hanging low. 4.
I think
I want
really
to love
weird
cocks when she's on all fours. And I want to see them. Actually, I don't want to see them swing because I'll
pretty
come
smart
if
at
I
what he
look
says.
at
But this is
I didn't know you were black. You're gonna have to leave.
We're a Negro-free zone here.
But you're only talking about hiring.
Okay, you're at a bar. You're sitting there, and you're like, I got my BLT. You didn't toast the bread. It's like socks. You just put a sock on a tomato and some... And now when I touch it, it forms in the shape of my fingers like a Tempur-Pedic mattress. You can't fucking toast bread. And then some black guy's like, I fucking hate when they do that. Who has a sandwich that's not toasted? And by the way, the Giants suck this year. And you feel the same way about toast, the same way about the Giants, and you go... yeah, I'm going to deny myself this interesting conversation because you're a Negro.
I think there's plenty of people today.
You know what he's saying when he's saying that. He's
what is racist?
He's saying
racist
that's ridiculous.
Someone
like
based
that.
on the color of their skin or their
I hope
ethnic
everybody
origin.
recognizes
So,
that.
okay, the racist you're describing doesn't like black people. I'm bringing up a scenario where if he sees a black person, say there is a racism, it's like this thin veneer, oily slick in the bathtub when you have Brill cream and you take a bath. All you got to do to go through it is just go beep. So the second that black guy says, I hate the Giants this year, that guy's racism just goes boop. I mean, I have so much more prejudice for people who wear flip-flops, for men who have those utility backpacks when they wear a suit.
What about man buns?
For stay-at-home dads. Man buns, I don't think I could be your friend.
Utility backpacks when they wear a suit,
You know when they have someone
bothers
with a
you?
suit on, but their backpack is all mountain climbery with the ergonomic things.
That bothers you?
It drives me nuts.
Why does that bother you?
You should have a briefcase if you have a suit. But are you mountain climbing to do your tax audit?
Twitter and social media are millennial fields, and millennials tend to talk like idiots. I'm sure we talked that dumb when we were 19, 20, 21, and guys our age aren't used to speaking to people that young, so it's confusing. But one thing I have noticed is that liberals online are exactly as dumb in real life. And also, since the debate, they think that Trump wants to jail his political adversaries, a la Lenin Stalin.
Okay, what's the matter with violence?
What's the matter with violence?
Yeah, fighting solves everything.
Raised that way. My father taught me to love everybody.
Well, I think you're not a man.
What does
fighting solve?
What does fighting solve?
Everything.
It solves nothing.
It solves absolutely nothing. Do you know how privileged you are to come to an event and insult the people at the event and not get the shit kicked out of you? Okay. You're surrounded by police protecting you. We're trying to preach love and togetherness and unity, and our tolerance doesn't need to reach over intolerance. That's all we're saying. These are all platitudes that don't mean anything. You're here. You think those people are anti-love? Yes. For any Muslim, what? Fuck you. Fucking fascist piece of shit.
for Obama.
So?
Of course, you know him at the Anthony Acumia Network, Rebel TV, host of the Gavin McInnes Show. I don't know what else to say. Gavin McInnes, that's the man who I'm talking about. Gavin, thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here, Stephen Grouter.
Was that an attempt at a joke?
Why can't you do a hard...
No, could you imagine if you had Milo, Gavin, Crowder? Could you imagine just partying with them for a freaking night? My goodness. You would hope you remembered it in the morning. Like, it would be fucking hilarious. Now, they're all freaking really, I mean, they're some of the only people that actually talk reality. And think about it, it takes comedians, but all the regular comedians got turned into freaking nut jobs. And these are the comedians that, like, okay, well, if I got to tell the truth, I fucking can.
See, on McInnes. Gavin McInnes.
That's
not
what
McGinnis.
it's taken.
Did I say McGinnis?
But look,
yes, you did. And Siri...
Our freaking media has become to be freaking comedy and lies. So, I mean, comedy changes a lot, and it's this, that, the other thing. But their comedy failed because it's so fake and sad. It gave us so much material to literally just... You know what I mean? All right, come on. What do you guys think? Right?
Everyone says McGinnis. Everyone says... I think it's the way North Americans use a C. They're so lazy. It's like Saturday Night Live. McGinnis. McGinnis. How long have you been here for? 24 years.
24 years. If I lived in Armenia for 24 years, I'd be writing whatever stupid Cyrillic language you have with my feet, and I'd be an Armenian poet by now. If I lived in Japan for 23 years, I probably wouldn't even speak English anymore. I'd just be counting money going, you know those guys?
No, but I love it already.
It's a reality show about a family who lives in Alaska in the middle of the woods, and half of them are young 25-year-old boys, and they've lived with their family their whole life, so they develop their own accent, and they say things like, hit me 5, because they don't know what is going on. It's like European.
And having seen my wife give birth 4 times, and sweat breaking out on her forehead, and she said to me, I will not cry in front of someone I don't know. I will die first. And she meant it.
And the difference between men and women is they can create a fucking human being. Now, I know you've never seen this, but it's pretty intense. And it was just breathing underwater a few seconds ago, and now it's going, meow. You go, oh, I'm married to a wizard. I'm married to a guy who can turn you into a frog. I'm married to someone with a long white beard and a staff and like a moon and a star and different shapes on his pointy hat. Not a Klansman, fucking racists. The analogy I always use is it's like Superman shows up at the bar and you guys are talking about punk rock and one guy is saying, punk, the word comes from New York and the zine came from New York. But the music, the ethos, everything, that was a London thing. And it was an evolution of glam. I don't know about any of that. Yeah, it's pretty esoteric. Well, I want to be involved. Superman, you're not even from fucking Earth, okay? You're a magic dude. Why don't you just fly straight up through this ceiling, then through all floors in the building, go up to the moon, take out your dick and go, then fly back and sit here. Why do you have to be on par with me and this old British punk dude arguing about the formation of punk? Here's the problem with what you're doing, and I did this too much too. You're intellectualizing a fashion.
Oh my god, what
this
was
is
that?
The Mods and the Rockers in Brighton Beach in 1961. Just fighting each other because one likes Elvis and the other likes The Who. And if you were to sit down with this mod and this rocker and say, have a debate, they wouldn't say anything. They have nothing to say. It's leather versus parkas. It's Vespas versus Triumph motorbikes. There's no context there. So this guy is on this team, and she's on the other team. And their tool is pepper spray, and that's what they're doing. They pretend, I don't want to give you a platform. No, they don't want to give you anything because they don't have anything to say. In fact, at the NYU talk, after I watched the pepper spray, I went and did the talk. They're all screaming, whose campus? Our campus. Whose? And I walk over to the mob with a microphone, and I have 2, and I go, come on up. And it was a radioactive cock I was handing him. Like he just went, Their foundation isn't truth or information. Their foundation is just emotions. We're a nation of immigrants. Oh, everything's racist. Oh, gays are people too. And you're like, you think I don't think gays are fucking people? What is the point? I don't even understand your side of things. I remember when I was a kid, we were at Disneyland and my dad saw these 2 13-year-old girls, Bud, in a line like 4 lines over. And he goes, we're no having that. And he runs down, he grabs them both, and he goes, end of the line, ladies. Wow. And I was like, this is a genetic trait where just injustice makes you insane. But if there is an example that personifies this trend perfectly, it is Yvette Falarka, who is completely mental. You may remember her back in June, I believe it was in Sacramento, where there was some sort of fascist protest. I think these guys actually were pretty darn right-wing. Again, not Nazis, but about as right-wing as wings can get. So they go there, and 7 people get stabbed. Who was behind this violence? Yvette Falarka. Can you imagine getting in a knife fight with her? She's like a 5-foot-tall Mexican woman. But my favorite video of Yvette is pretty recently, where there's a protester daring to express free speech. And she gets in there with her little tiny Mexican hands and just starts pounding him, like hitting him in the ribs. You see one cop just sort of toss her aside. Get out of here, Yvette. Come here, Nazi.
Sir, please.
Crazy people.
Get out! Get back!
You know what? Wouldn't it be great if you could just kill all the Trump supporters? Would you like to do that?
Fuck you.
Would you like to do that? No, I want to fix them. I want to change their views. And the first thing you do is tell them what? That Muslims are good people? That everyone is a human being and they should be respected. But isn't it possible that when you look at a group, some might have a disproportionate number that do a thing? Like, for example, rich people. They're rich people. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay to make stereotypes about rich people, but not Muslims. Why? Because it's greed that made them rich. It's something that they actually stand for, and it's just straight greed. That makes them rich. What about if you help sequence the genome and you make $100 million in biotech? Is that greed? If you're not investing it into like charity, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if you make money curing cancer and you don't put the money immediately back into charity, you're a profit off it, you're a capitalist scumbag. You're a capitalist scumbag if you're curing cancer. No, because you're doing it for a fucking profit.
You actually go Tiny Whities for those listening terrestrially.
He's Walter White in this.
He's Walter Whiting. Oh my gosh! Here, hold on, stay there. Let's get this as a screenshot, Jared. There we go. That's the screenshot. Okay, perfect. No.
You need to have shoes on at a party. That is why I left Quebec. Here in America, I will never take my shoes off ever.
But you would in Japan.
I would in Japan, and I'll tell you, being married to Indians. My wife is always barefoot in the house, and all the kids, the second they get home, they take off their shoes and their socks. I'm like, what is it with you Indians and being barefoot all the time?
Now, when we say Indians, do we mean forehead Indians or do we mean red man Indians?
Feather, not dot. People, in the West, if it's not snowing out, you need your shoes on at all times. If you're at home, you're going to be stepping on your children's Cheerios. There's going to be other things on the ground. You're going to stub your toe.
So your concern is Cheerios on your feet, not dog feces on your carpet. That's where we part ways.
The only way you can make dog crap appear on my shoe is to say it's microscopic, which means it's a microaggression and I can't disprove it. It's too tiny. But as far as chunks go, go right away and it reeks up the whole room. You should have to wear high heel shoes. And now we have soldiers, cadets in 2 different military academies wearing high heel shoes to show that they recognize women's suffering. These are guys who carry 75-pound bags, packs, and then run for 25 miles. These are guys who go to a sexist country where women are stoned to death for being gang raped, and they get their fucking legs blown off so they can't wear red high heel shoes. They fucking have trouble articulating because I was in a tank that was on fire and it was hard to... Have you ever worn high heel shoes? Pardon? High heel shoes. Have you ever worn high heel shoes? Do you know what it's like to get catcalled? I had to relearn English after the fire. I am not totally caught up with uncomfortable footwear. Well, you should read this pamphlet. It sucks. But I invited my friend Jesse.
Man, that was cool.
An editor at Vice, and I used to invite him to my boxing gym, and he had the exact same body that Grover has. Little pot belly, skinny, and his arms were just strings. His legs were strings too, just thread with a hand at the end. Yeah. But if there's one thing an entrepreneur needs to have, that's the ability to fail. I estimate you have 12 failures for every success. We had balloons here on the show earlier.
We'll see what the universities decided to host a debate, although I don't know if they found anybody to debate me. I told them I'd do both sides of the damn debate if they can't find anyone.
Goodness.
All right, well...
Alright. Give me 2 seconds. And get ready, it's gonna get loud. Oh no.
Please join me in welcoming the most fabulous supervillain on the internet himself.
No. Where do you guys want me to
Will
go?
Rogers once quipped.
Oh, okay. Are you guys ready to laugh your ass off?
In that
This is gonna be hilarious.
I give you this video. Enjoy, my friends. And if you do enjoy it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know.
You're gonna love this. Trust me, it's funnier than hell. It gets funnier.
I'm very honored to stand before members of the House Intelligence Committee, past and present. Intelligence Committee, past and present. House Intelligence Committee. We also want to protect the integrity of the Mueller investigation. We are early on under the leadership of Congressman Eric Swalwell, and so I knew the challenges that members face there. That's why when I had the
What the hell is wrong with you people?
privilege, and I'll also associate myself with their remarks in support of our men and women.
How is this?
Also, just highlighting what our colleagues have said about the important role of the intelligence community in our national security. A long time ago, when I first went on the Intelligence Committee, that was his own appointee as Director of National Intelligence. His service, his courage, his leadership for our country has been a blessing. For our country has been a blessing.
I love that.
Vladimir Putin was on stage in Helsinki alongside the President of the United States, who had nothing but warm words for the time that they spent together. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm really nauseous.
Stunned.
I feel sick. This is frightening. Shocking.
Stunning. Genuinely stunning.
Unbelievable.
Astonishing.
It is astonishing. It's heartbreaking.
It's time for Americans to be out on the streets.
When do we see almost a shadow government come out and say, we cannot side with the government?
Really?
Incredibly depressing.
Are these people insane?
His own low bar for not screwing this up.
I mean, it is an absolute disgrace. It's a parody of a disgrace.
I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Virtual Shield VPN. I use it every time I'm on the computer or on my phone. With Virtual Shield, you hide your activity and location every time you're online. This protects you from hackers, government spies, data miners, and your internet service provider. No browser history or logs are stored. The guys at Virtual Shield love individual rights as much as they hate censorship. And they think you have the right to remain private. The question is, do you? My promo code is in the link in the description.
This entire week of President Trump abroad has made Hillary Clinton seem all the more prescient.
All he had to do was not, put on jammies and crawl under the covers with Vladimir Putin.
Do White House officials realize how horrifying so many Americans are today? Mr. Putin now is the master puppeteer of Donald Trump.
Vladimir Putin picked our president. Does anything else matter?
This entire week of President Trump abroad has made Hillary Clinton seem all the more prescient.
We want very much to have a strong Russia, because a strong, competent, prosperous, stable Russia is, we think, in the interest of the world.
Shake, Senora, shake it all the time. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you.
A strong, competent, prosperous, stable Russia is, we think, in the interest of the world.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
points at me?
Yes.
Listen, I don't have Trump derangement. Let me tell you what I have.
Okay.
I have a lot of. I'm tired of people starting a conversation with Mexicans or liars and rapists. I'm tired of people starting a conversation about this country. Listen, I'm 62 years old. There have been a lot of people in office that I didn't agree with, but I have never, ever seen anything like this. I've never seen anybody whip up such hate. I've never seen anybody be so dismissive. And clearly you don't watch the show, so you don't know that I don't suffer from that. What I suffer from is the inability to figure out how to fix this. That's my issue. But one of the things that you talk about a lot, and I'm curious about it, is the deep state. How long has the deep state been there, and who's running it?
Sorry.
I want to answer your question.
Froze up. Sorry, I had to run and go do something. Alright, yep. 12 Russian hackers into the DNC. They never gave the FBI servers. Seth Rich was DNC leaker. Yeah, no, and it's all obvious, and that's the worst part. It's like InfoWars, whether they're freaking controlled opposition, this, that, or whatever, they throw out a lot of really real stuff. And what is so funny is, like, everything that is found that we go, no, look, you guys are freaking... Not to switch this back. There we go. Everything that you guys freaking do and say is, you know, or whatever, everything that's been freaking said about you is 2 years back, 3 years back, all this and that. Deny, and then it comes out to be done and said, and it gets a little bleep. Oh, well, they were right. Well, for 2 years, whatever, they're talking about being a conspiracy theory. And then it comes to be true, and then everybody just doesn't even think two shits about it. It's insane. It's insanity. It's like we're living in a hell that we're trying to prove and open people's eyes, and we just can't. It's weird. Really, really freaking weird. Kind of disturbing, kind of sucks. Yeah, this video is pretty freaking funny as hell, especially if you guys caught the couple minutes ago. If not, I suggest you roll back and watch it.
You had your opening statement, which was how horrible it is that Donald Trump is talking about all of these people.
I'm sorry, that's what you said. You said that it was okay.
End up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible? When the president of the United States whips up people to beat the hell out of people. Say goodbye.
Yeah, you see this? And okay, so I just want to ask one thing. I didn't yet. I kind of had watched this, but I forgot we went to this. But what happened to the other lady that ran the thing? What now? All of a sudden she's there, and now she runs it. Acts like a complete fool. It's pretty disturbing what goes on, and nobody wants to admit it. Lefties have lost their minds, and we've given them too much power, and they're losing it. And there's about to be a shift.
You saw me do something I very rarely do. I very rarely lose my cool, and I'm not proud of it. I don't like it. But I also don't like being accused of being hysterical, because that's one of the things I try not to be on this show.
You yelled at her, you're nuts.
Have a great day.
Nobody, really.
Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom.
I did not know that it was one that showed up, because from the ones that I remembered that it was like 12. And it doesn't seem like the 12 now, but that they showed up, like this was over a month ago or so, and they showed up, and Mueller, didn't want to even do anything. So the judge is telling him, Mueller's got to go to court. Nice. Yeah, I missed it too. Yeah, no, seriously, I did not hear about that. What I remembered was some other stuff, and then I've heard some recent stuff, but I didn't think it was that.
That in life there are no excuses. That
Alright, come
CNN
on.
is a communist. Let people know we're in the middle of a
This guy does
full-blown
have cool
shit
shirts,
pollution.
so.
Taxation is theft. The IRS is an immoral robbery service.
I have some other
Cops enjoy
videos.
protecting and
Just
serving the crap out of
look.
you. That the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over...
I usually don't care, but you guys got the... Oh, this is disturbing. Oh, shit. No, this is it. Oh, shit. Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to throw up?
Sit in front of CNN for 16 hours, but I thought even you are not that stupid.
Well, no, you were wrong, Matt.
All right.
Well, I'm sitting here in a government line.
Are you ready?
That's right.
This
Anytime
gets
you're sitting in a
sick.
traffic light, you are sitting in a government-initiated line. Let me ask you guys a question. If you had to pick between one or the other, which would you choose? Dangerous freedom or peaceful slavery? Personally,
Oh, you've seen this one? Oh, did I show it to you?
make that choice.
I'll get
you
something
have to
else.
be ready for people to do some really strange shit with their freedom. Guys, if you enjoy this video, subscribe
Did you
to
see
the
it
channel,
through me?
hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Look, I'm not driving, I'm sitting in a government line, not driving and YouTubing.
Before I get into this video, I just want to take a couple seconds to watch Peter Strzok's mannerisms during the recent Dog and Pony Show congressional hearing. Can you even get more creepy? Remember, this guy's a United States FBI agent.
Look at it. Look at that demo. Look at the look at that. You see the horns? You see the horns?
Hillary Clinton's use of a email server. He even rose to become the deputy assistant director of the counterintelligence division, which is the highest position in that division. His facial expressions during the hearing were about as smug, snide, and creepy as you can get. It's almost like this guy is the creepy embodiment of Damien from the Omen movies. There's no telling what kind of garbage this guy's involved in when the cameras aren't rolling. Remember, as just one example, Dennis Hastert was the Speaker of the House from 1999 to 2007, and he was later convicted of being a serial child molester. Guys, he was third in line for the presidency. These people in high places are about as corrupt and creepy as they come.
That's damn
In
right.
other news, this guy flies like a butterfly and apparently stings like a butterfly as well. There's nothing quite as courageous as hitting a Trump dummy in the back of the head while your Fruit Loop buddies cheer you on.
This is what we're fighting
If I can
against.
direct your attention to the center
They're
ring.
crazy.
Take a look at this fine group of upstanding Americans.
This is what we're...
the Trump resistance, people. I know, you're probably shaking in your shoes. About the only person on this planet they could be a role model for is Pee Wee Herman. God, if you were a liberal right now, wouldn't you be hiding under a rock somewhere? Before
I would.
continue with this video, I
Fuck.
want to let you know that this video is sponsored by something
Yeah, that was in
radically
England.
changed my mom's life for the better. Matter of fact,
It's like-
at 75 years old, she has virtually a new lease on life. And I keep getting emails and messages every day from people who are experiencing the exact same results. The only problem is I can't talk about it on this platform because YouTube may terminate this channel like they terminated my main channel just for mentioning it. It's something that pharmaceutical companies have been trying for years to keep illegal, and also something that the US government holds a patent on. But I can't promote it because, hey, we don't want people healthy, and we sure don't want them to have access to something that may put big pharma business. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to my website, highimpactflix.com, and you may find it somewhere on the left-hand side of your screen. If you're on a mobile or a tablet, just keep scrolling. You'll see what I'm talking about. Links in the description. Now, back to the video. If you ever wondered why God is described as being in heaven, or why intelligent life refused to visit our planet, well, wonder no more.
Oh, man. This is disturbing, people. Are you fucking ready for this? Pardon my French. It's nothing about what you're gonna get to see. Please.
Now, you know, with the horsetail there in the background and the man's legs, we're not going to go to a very good place.
Oh, we should be laughing about this though. Because wait till he says these are a lot of the people that roll like.
And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Freedom is dangerous because people like this will take their liberty to do some very strange things with it. And as much as everything within me tells me how wrong this is, as long as these people aren't hurting people or taking other people's stuff, they can do whatever they want.
Oh,
and
man.
The truly sad and sobering part about this is that it doesn't even scratch the surface of the insanity.
Okay, so you think it's called a furry fetish? No, I think this isn't furry. No, these people think they're horses. Watch, this is disturbing. But there's one point where he's like, a lot of these people are senators and mayors and weird ass people. No, I think this is worse than furries. No, this is way worse than furries. Watch, guys, watch.
It's going on.
Thanks for being here. Thumbs up if you haven't given one.
Today we are in Louisiana.
Shows me you're here.
On the Delta pony play event. Welcome to pony play.
These are weird people.
Now, as I produced this video, I realized that in spite of widely available information through the wonders of the internet, an outrageous number of people still drink hot liquids out of styrofoam cups, are heavily medicated by today's mind-altering pharmaceutical poisons, and rot their brains with mainstream media pollution. And besides adding to that some really bad parenting, I don't even know how to explain this behavior.
Thanks
so
for thumbs
the bar
up,
is
guys.
set really, really low. But guys,
This is
back when I
disturbing.
was a kid, we called these people, and I'm just going to say it here because it's true, we called them retards. On a nice day, people would call them mentally challenged or abnormally incapable. The bottom line is,
They've made it okay.
there's absolutely nothing holding these people together mentally. Never mind the elevator not going all the way to the top. The elevator shaft, and the entire building was demolished a long time ago. And I know. Let them be free to do whatever they want to do.
And we
They're
will.
not hurting anybody.
But yes, they
Guys,
are.
I agree. Let them be free to do what they
These are
enjoy
pedos,
doing.
man.
And I'll be
They're
free to
freakos.
comment on their demented activities.
Go.
And look at this woman right here. She's probably checking her social media like, I wonder how many likes I got on my post this morning where I managed to wolf down 12 pounds of bacon
Oh,
and
fuck
two
it. That's hella
20-pound
fucked
sacks
up.
of horse feed.
Today we're out here having a pony play competition where people compete.
This is Sodom and Gomorrah shit, people. This is Sodom and
This guy
fucking
here is
Gomorrah
like,
shit.
I don't have much sanity left, but I have enough to know I don't want my face plastered all over the...
Alright, I gotta pause this. Like, seriously, this is Sodom and Gomorrah shit. This is disturbing. And if we had have let Hillary Clinton and if we let all these I don't even want to, I don't know what to call them. I'm trying not to be mean, but if we let these people continue, and I'm not saying this, you can do whatever you want without harming, anybody, or what. These people are fine if they're not harming people, but these are the sick people that are usually tangled up with the really sick people. It is a class of called fairies. Yeah, pet slays. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. This is. Yeah. Oh god. It's disturbing. This is what they want. They want. That's why they're brainwashing everybody. They don't get it.
Internet.
Okay, so I gotta say something funny to everybody here. So I was just laughing and looking at words and how words are spells, and people don't even really know what words are anymore, and that's kind of a weird thing just watching into it. So I was talking with my girl. She was sitting there watching TV, and I was laughing. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch TV. Come out and play pool with me. And she's like, no, da da da. I'm like, all right. I'm like, God, I wish we didn't have one of those devil freaking box, that stupid box up there. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not joking. I come out and play pool for about an hour and a half. And I go back inside to look inside, and the TV's not working. And I think I come back out to finish making my video, whatever the hell. Go back in. damn TV does not work. And this is like 2 hours after I said that stupid ass fucking devil box, blah, 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 blah. We shouldn't even have one. And I'm not joking, the fucking thing doesn't work. And I usually know how to reset it, this or that. No, there was none of that. And I know the thing is 15 years old. It's a flat screen, but it was a good one. Lasted 15 years, and 2 hours after I said we don't need that devil black box in our house, blah, 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 it breaks. So what the hell do you think I had to go do today? Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah, no, for real. I just think about that, and I laughed. What else could I do? What else could I do? So, yeah. That's all I could do. So, there's the broken TV. Hey, it was a hella fucking good TV. But here, now look at my new one. Very, very quiet. She's sweeping.
With McDonald's taped admission, this makes 3 Minuteman crew members the FBI can connect to the Hudson Double Murder. But the task force is determined to get everyone, especially the men at the top, Anthony Shea.
Yeah, so just a little over freaking $600, so not too bad. But yeah, I wasn't even that pissed off because the thing was 15 years old, but I just laughed. I'm like, dude, words are fucking spells. I'm like, I straight said that shit, and I'm not saying it really died then, but it because of that, I don't know. But the chances and the karma and just the hilarious to me that was, even though that I just literally lost, well, with, yeah, a little over about 650. Even though I just didn't lose that, but I had to spend that, it still was. I don't know. I laughed about it, not even anger, which is funny because before how I was, I mean, I would have been pissed. I mean, like, really, I gotta fucking, this thing doesn't fucking work. I gotta spend freaking $600, But, I gotta admit, something different, whatever the hell, just, oh, that's not how I am now. Damn thing's empty, that's not cool. Alright, I actually did have some good stuff to show you guys, but let's see what the heck's going on here. Thank you guys for being here. Alright, do you guys want to finish this sick shit? There we go. The disturbing fucking wagon fucking trail. Oh god.
A bunch of adults prance around like a bunch of retarded 2-year-olds. Seriously, guys, I don't even know what to say about all this foolishness. What happened to these people in their lives that they've sunk to this level?
Get it! These events are very competitive. Just like a regular horse show event, we end up with some crashes and wrecks. People go down over the jumps. The competition gets pretty crazy sometimes. I'm gonna be too hard.
This puts an entirely new spin on the phrase horsing around. These people, these adults, are actually pretending to be horses.
People don't realize a lot of these people are bigwig people.
They're flaunting and parading before the camera like a bunch of psychos.
Not this guy. That dude's mentally.
Buildings That's where all the crazy people went. They were placed in a straitjacket, carted off in a paddy wagon, and sent to a padded cell where they couldn't hurt other people or themselves. Now, I'm not advocating that these people who are engaged in peaceful, albeit strange activities, be forced against their will into a prison. I'm saying that people looked at this kind of behavior way different back in the old days. This kind of thing just makes me question what the hell's happening to our society and why.
Ponies put on the gear, it puts them into what they call pony space. And I see a lot of people that once they put the gear on, that actually turn into horses.
I can't even stress enough the fact that these people are serious. There's this fantasy, bondage, sexualized, demented.
You see the real crazies that do this, they would never let you see this. These are the.
And we're seeing this kind of craziness more and more. We had safe spaces, now we have pony space.
How many of these people are on
adults
medication?
out there acting like dogs and cats. Men think they're women. Women think they're men. And this one old dude thinks he's a 6-year-old little girl.
I made a
and
video.
woman
That's
fell in
sick.
love with and married a roller coaster that she named Bruce. What the hell's going on?
When I put the bit in his mouth, it's like a ritual between us. He needs that transition to get into headspace. And I can feel through the bit when he actually kind of changes from like human space to like pony space. So now I'm going to leave him here for a minute for pony space before we take him out in for the reining competition. Because I found for us during play, if I just put him in the gear and then we go immediately do it, it doesn't give him time to transition into his headspace that allows him
You hear what they're
to
saying.
express him.
See, and that's the funny thing is everything. All right. So everything that's happened is from everything that we would consider that's not okay. I'm not going to allow that to happen. That is what society would not allow to happen. I mean, if you lived in a little community, a little town, whatever the heck, rural, whatever, people would be like, what the heck is wrong with these people? And I'm not going to say that you need to do something to them, but at the same time, like, you would really wonder, like, this is not okay. The people will be like, we need to help these people, something, whatever. But this is of Satan, and they've put people into cities and put everybody as, you got to put all cultures together, because the one thing about us having our own culture is we know who and what and how we're supposed to be, and we know that we want to grow, prosper, take care of our community and the ones that we love, this, that, and the other thing. And then these crazy ass people are just trying to bring in every damn other culture that there is, and that anything is accepted and okay. And if you go against that, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a furriest, you're a Nazi, you're this, that, the other thing. And they've made it to where it was almost infuriable and come on. Infutable. Why can't I say that word? All right. Guess what? You want to be a horse? Then go get a live. Go get to live outside and eat grain and hope you like the pain of being shooed. Just stupid. No. These people they've lost their mind. And it is of demons. It truly is. And it's sad because, we have to laugh at it. But at the same time, it should break our hearts a little bit. It's like these people have lost their minds because people have let them. I mean, people have been born from mothers that were born in communes and this and that. And their name was Sunshine and Moon and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, people have gone a little bit off the freaking wagon, and I consider it as the people that control the whole world. They realize that the regular white man and the regular decent thinking human being is the only person that can stop them. And these are the biggest racists, because these are the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. And I promise you, they're all freaking white. These are some people that nobody even knows about, being like whatever you want to call it, this, that, the other thing. And they realize the greatest threat is who and what we are right now. Especially, I think the Illuminati, I think the deep state, this, that, all that. I think they are just a layer. The layer that goes above that. You're talking towards Satan. You mean born in the horse stable? What? Alright. Let's finish this one up because I do have some other good ones. Oh god. Like what would drive you to, I mean, seriously, what?
Himself as a pony.
Oh my god, what is happening here?
When I'm doing commentary, I'm pretty free and wild. I kick the cars.
Fights the hammer, and really just try to give them a real hard time. So they really have to try to keep us to obey, but it usually doesn't work from both.
This is. Oh my goodness.
I really just fall into space and I'm a pony when I do that.
I don't even know what to say, guys. I'm sure it's going to come as no shock to you when I tell you that well over half of these people are members of Congress. But seriously, can
You hearing
imagine
this shit?
being a coworker in the cubicle next to
More
this
than half
guy?
of them are
So,
freaking
Bob,
members of
what'd you do
Congress.
this weekend? That's about
Not
enough
these
of the dark
weirdos,
web for today,
but
guys.
I'm sure.
My question when I see this kind of thing usually runs along the lines of,
Okay, ultra
if these people do
victims.
this kind of nonsense in broad
Yeah.
daylight on camera
Alright.
with no shame, what kind of perversions are they involved in at night when there are no cameras and the doors are closed?
Just after
First
this.
thing I think about is,
Alright.
are these people harming?
That's what scares me, but yes, right after this.
My question when I see this kind of thing usually runs along the lines of, if these people do this kind of nonsense in broad daylight on camera with no shame, what kind of perversions are they involved in at night when there are no cameras and the doors are closed? And the first thing I think about is, are these people harming kids? Make no mistake, this is truly a mental illness. This is what happens when you let go of truth and sanity and give in to fantasy and perversion. But like I said, freedom has a very real element of danger to it. And as much as I'm disgusted by what these people are doing, I don't want them arrested. I don't want government seizing their property and throwing asses in jail. As long as they aren't harming anybody or taking their stuff, they should be left alone. Hopefully, the truth, knowledge, and sanity pool will grow faster than the pool of insanity, darkness, and perversion. Before I go, I want to leave you with this jewel.
It's a pony.
Father, save
That will always be my favorite part.
Dangerous freedom, huh? Brian, you sure about this? Yeah, I'm sure. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, if you like what we're doing here on this censored channel and you want to support the effort, the Patreon, PayPal, and Bitcoin links.
Alright, you guys already got that.
If you want to
That's
support
alright.
the channel by grabbing
Okay.
a shirt or two, check out the new in-your-face
Yeah, bro.
designs like
I said stop,
Black
motherfucker.
Rifles Matter, Escape from
It's not listening to
California,
me.
Taxation is Legalized Theft, and Sheep
You know who he is. You can go there. Blah. Alright. So, where do you want to start on MK Ultra? People that have, I mean, all the way back to, what is it? Whitey Bulger. I mean, they're already doing that shit on him with the acid. Or you want to talk about where it's at now? Left only. Well, left alone in the middle of a ocean with no boat. What do you mean? Who's that? You? That'd be pretty shitty. Left alone in the middle of the ocean with no boat. What you mean? How much that would suck? I thought we were going into MK Ultra. Where are we at, people? Where are we at? Thought we wanted to go to MK Ultra. I wait on you, yes. Alright. Let's see. I don't know if I have anything sent to here about MK Ultra. Yeah, I gotta get my computer figured the hell out. I'm sorry. I suck. You guys deserve better.
You've heard, vote your values. Now you can watch your values too. Let's face it, cable TV is anti-American.
Memo is on Donald Trump's.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. Most of MK Ultra is now Project Monarch. Most of the MK Ultra is now Project Monarch. Okay.
as the memo's release is imminent. Moments ago, the House Intelligence Committee convened.
Okay. Oh shit. I gotta plug in, guys. 1 second. Alright. Bling bling. I was talking about the horse people being MK Ultra. I was talking about the horse people being. I don't know. It must be I don't know. Okay, that's over my head somehow or whatever. I know I went through hella videos, but so where do you MK Ultra? I'm sorry, what scares me more than anything with MK Ultra is I think they've gone to the point with their cell phones, radio waves, this, that, and other thing, all the metals in our damn bodies. Everything that they've already been poisoning us with in our food, how much metal is in our bodies, and they're putting all the 5G every freaking where, and there's nothing that we can freaking do about it. And then when you actually start looking into this 5G stuff and how disturbing and horrible it is for your body, you realize that the old light bulbs that we used to use, the old street lights that we used to give off the real radiation light diameter that you're supposed to get. And when you're getting that, that's good for you. Now they've changed the lights and LEDs and all that bullshit. I'm telling you, those LED lights, they might save you a little bit of money, but the light that they give off is actually horrible for your body because it's like a weird blue, like the blue light on your phone. It's the worst thing for you, especially to sleep. Yeah, and it all goes together with 5G. And you got to look, there's these documents, I've already put this on video, of where they're putting it in offices now and fluorescent bulbs, and the bulbs that they have to where they're almost like cam lights. They put them in, and as you walk by, they radiate and take all technology, not all technology, but all readings of you, tracking where you are, and literally taking all of technology and radiating back and forth. I forget exactly how it goes. Yeah. But if you guys have seen that video that I've made, it is disturbing, and this shit is real. And what people don't realize is, like, when these people make patents about this shit, and they'll make patents about it 10 years before any of us even usually know about it, unless somebody's smart enough to look at it and find it. And then within that time, it's already been implemented, and nobody even knows about it. It's nuts. The people that were dressing up. Oh, the people that were dressing up like horses. I'm sorry, I blanked on that. I'm sorry. The people that were dressing up like horses in the High Impact Flick video, something was definitely wrong with them. So I was making a joke about them being MK Ultra. Got you, dude. I'm sorry. I was just on that one. But no, what scares me is I think that they've MK'd Ultra a lot of people, and like the gang stalking and all that. I think there's many different heights and differences of that, but I think a lot of people are being fucking gang stalked. And I think one of the craziest things is it's like, it's really a variation. I mean, people are getting really, really messed with, and some people are just, I don't know. And what's scary is with, what they can do with microwaves, everything like that. I mean, if you've looked into it, I've made videos about it, but if you could see the microwaves that are just going past us right now, you wouldn't even be able to see 2 inches in front of your face, let alone when they turn on 5G. We have so much metal in our bodies. If they really want to just, they can. Nobody wants them in there. Okay, so one cool fun facts with Johnny. Okay, I shouldn't show you the envelope, but fun facts. My buddy sent this. Freaking hilarious. 10 stickers. Research flat earth. So I threw one on the back of my truck. But it was funny, I just got it and it was in the mail. Ripped it open, it was like 10 bumper stickers of Research Flat Earth. I'm like, that's hilarious. So, yeah, I threw one on the back of my shit. We need more. We need a room-sized Faraday cage. Faraday cage. We need a room-sized Faraday cage. Well, we need a lot. But, no, I thought that was pretty freaking hilarious. And I've been trying to debate with people, and it's funny. I almost want to go into churches and just like talk to the pastor or whatever, like one-on-one, and be like, if you really believe in anything, like, why haven't you figured this out yet? And why aren't you saying anything? Have you heard about the tech that will be installed in the biotech commerce that will read the carbon monoxide you breathe and out and act of carbon chemicals make up in your determine wait, what? Have you heard of that? No, I have not heard of that, but have you heard of the movie, really, because of what you're breathing in and out, they could, feelings. Okay, but here, is that kind of what goes along? I heard there's this movie that this guy made that was interactive, that from the emotions that it showed that you felt about what was happening, whether you liked it or disliked it, it made the movie change for you. I don't know if you've heard about that. That's a freaking weird one, and I wonder if that goes along with that, or that was just something else that's going along the same line of trying to figure that out. And that's what's disturbing, is the demons are trying to do this. If you look into almost every circuit, everything that is made to just, from everything from a radio to what we have, they're all Luciferian signs. And that's why people don't get little circuits and this and that and everything. I've made videos, I have videos on it. It is disturbing as hell. And when you start looking at that stuff, you're just like, what is going on? And when you start connecting everything, you just realize everything is of Lucifer. All technology, everything. We are living in a fallen state. And I say this often, I can't say I know why we're here. I can't say, I got a couple of guesses. Either we did something really wrong and we're somewhat in hell, because I don't believe this is quite hell, but hey, who knows? But we're here because we did something wrong and we got something to learn. Or we're here because there's a damn reason. Got something to learn, but maybe we're here for a damn reason, because we're supposed to do something or be something. And another one is maybe we decided to come here and hope, with our memories being flushed, that we'd still come to find the way to be a good person. Or who knows, maybe we're just in the middle of the middle, and if we don't figure it out this time, we're getting flushed down the toilet. I don't know. But the one thing that I do know is we're here for a damn reason. And I think the main reason is to try to figure out the damn reason. I don't know. That's what I think sometimes. You ever heard about Facebook does what you just said? No, I know Facebook does. Yeah, no, they're horrible. They are the demon. And you know, I never had Facebook, MySpace, anything like that. Never had any. So this was the first thing that I ever did. And I mean, they ended up figuring out how to hate me pretty quick. Video, 27,000 views in 4 hours. Year later, still 27,000 views. What was the other one? Vegas. That got me in trouble. Another one that got me in trouble, I had a video of a naked Filipino kid climbing out of the third story of the Buckingham Palace in sheets. Got in trouble for that one. So, It's really funny though when you laugh because I just came up just today. It shows that I have a total of 100,000 views completely with all of my videos. Which is hilarious. Like I said, video 27,000 views, 4 hours. But yeah, they've shadow banned me, done this and that, and constantly have people like, oh, how come it doesn't show that I watch your video, or how come it doesn't let me leave a message, this, that, and the other thing. And I know I speak a little bit too much truth. And what was funny, they used to really mess with my numbers, but not that bad. But now they're definitely messing with my numbers. It's crazy. All right. But no, definitely appreciate you guys being here. So what the heck we're going to hit? I had some good stuff. I remember that one video of yours. You know what really sucks is that haven't figured it out on my computer. I just know I need to sit down for like 20, 30 minutes, an hour or something with somebody, go over it, figure it out, and just figure out how to do this and put it all on, I don't know, freaking files or whatever, you know what I mean? This is how, all I do is find stuff, put it on this, record it over so that you guys can watch it and I can show you, and, you know, yeah. So nothing's really filed, and I don't even know how many damn videos I have. If any of you can look at it and tell me, like, I'm sure if I got on the computer, but like I said, I haven't touched that thing in a minute. Your girl uses it for stuff I need to be using it. But yeah, I don't even know how many damn freaking videos I have. I'm pretty damn sure I got freaking way more videos than I have freaking subscribers. What's funny is I get subscribers quite a bit, and then I lose them, especially when I do like live feeds or certain videos. And it's not that I lose them, but I just lose subscribers, even though it tells me I'm getting them. And I got Sage Wonder. I like him. He's funny as heck, man. I got a little bit of a flat earth issue with him, but more than anything because he does whatever. No, I really like him. He's good. And Isaac Green, I had him freaking subscribe to me. You know, I've got, you know, people that I respect quite a bit to subscribe to me. And what's funny is a month or two or later, I'll see them subscribe to me again. And it's like, even they block, you know, these people that are whatever, and they're blocking them from me. It's like, what the hell? So and to a point, calling that gang stop, just whatever it is, freaking YouTube, Google, you know, being what it is kind of hilarious. But at the same time, it doesn't make me angry, because I know, and to me, from what I feel, if it shows that I've got 100,000, I feel I've got 1,000,000. And even if I haven't, even if it is 100,000, that means 100,000 times people listen to what the heck I was trying to explain. So, I just thought that was funny. I finally had 100,000. But more than anything, it's just the one thing that I've ever put my like voice out onto, and I enjoy it. And I know I'm being fucking data mined like a motherfucker. I'm not stupid. I know what the freaking future is going to look like if you get some crazy ass people that are still in charge, like that have been in the last 20 years. Oh man, I've signed my death warrant by this. But at the same time, if I passed, I guess at least I've left my family a little bit of an idea of what I did and what I talked about and who I was. But yeah, if the left ever comes into power again, me and people like me, our death warrants are signed. I've never been on Facebook in months. I've not been on Facebook in months. Keep sending me a message on that I'm missing. No, yeah, never had the Facebook, MySpace, just always thought it was the devil. I know this is still the devil, and I'm using the devil black screen, but I'm trying to use the devil black screen to at least spread some truth and some understanding and some fucking hope. because this world is a fucked up place. And I mean, what do you expect when people think they live on a spinning wet ball rocket? They're here on an accident, and they're being told they need to get the hell off this planet and find somewhere else. And that they came from nothing. They came from nothing. When you can make, fucking son of a bitch, when you can make 90, think about it. What do we have on people that realize that the earth is fucking flat? What do we have? I mean, if I was going to say high hopes, I would say 5. I would love to say 10, but I'm going to say 5% of this freaking plane of existence that we live on realizes that the earth is flat. Has the devil not come and done a good job at deceiving the whole effing world? I mean, it's fucking insanity. And even when you can put out mathematics proof in so many ways that are actually proven compared to what you're given from these assholes that are CGI, and people will still not want to open their eyes. And, you know, I understand that thing, you know, who has eyes to see and the ears to hear and the mind to know. I understand that, but the hardest part is the ones that you love the most. And I think I say this in most all my videos. The hardest thing is the ones that you love the most, that are the closest. Because those are usually ones that have their ears shut and their eyes closed. And you're just like, son of a bitch. And that's all, that to me, that's rough. So, but I did really enjoy putting up my flat earth research. If I have a fake account and I do a lot of good with it, I also mess with a bunch of liberals. Well, that's cool. I mean, dude, do what you do, mate. My whole thing is I agree with... the whole thing is what nobody wants to fucking admit. I mean, all right. We all love Jesus. We all love God. Blah, 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 blah. But whatever. What in the hell teaches you in this world? I mean, look what Jesus went through. Whatever, this, that. Look what any great man has went through. The only thing that people learn from is pain and shame. Pain and shame. Have you ever learned a really good lesson in your life? Unless you got a lot of pain or a lot of shame from it? I would guess probably not. Now, have you? And that's one of the things of human nature and just nature and just what the world is it's an aspect of something that you just cannot stand to happen to you will actually open your brain and your mind to what you've done wrong. Nobody's going to learn anything unless they've had massive pain or massive shame. And that is kind of what keeps society a little bit together, of not having people run around in those dog masks and run around looking like dang freaks. Hey, more power to you. You want to do stuff like that? Hey guys, it doesn't really show me if you're here unless you give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. Would love that. Appreciate it, because they don't show me if you're here. But that's what you get to when you have these people run around in freaking dog masks. And you're like, what in the hell is your problem? You literally are that crazy. You're running around in a dog mask. Back in the day, people would have shamed them enough to make them realize, hey, that's some really weird shit. And those people, like he was saying, those people, and a lot of those people are your senators and that shit. I know the people they showed in the videos, of course that's not theirs. But I guarantee one of those people that knows those people that are along those are the people that had their faces blurred out. Yeah, it's fucking sickening. Or massive amount, okay. Massive amounts of vodka, yeah. Here we go. There we go. You can know that they follow when you're not online. You know that they can follow you when you're not online. No, I know, but I like it when people are here. You know what I mean? I definitely love hearing People that have had massive pain and shame, and they always seek to better at their lives. No, and that is disturbing that there are those snakes that sometimes it almost seems like no matter how much you shame or pain that they get, they still are slithering snakes. I've had some of those in my life. I remember Brian Miskell. I mean, I'm not even joking. That fucker wanted to go in my bathroom, and like I was like, I know he hates me, and I know I hate him, and he, just because of who he was. And I don't know, he always acted super nice, but at the same time, you knew he hated you. I wouldn't even let him in my bathroom. I'm like, dude, my toothbrush is in there. Oh, hell no. Like, yeah. No, but I've known, just snakes and liars. The pain and shame doesn't do it. But, there are, and those are the reptilians, man. And I don't mean like reptilians, movies, this, that, or the other thing, but they think with a reptilian brain. We all know that that's, the closest one to our spine. We supposedly have 3 brains, blah, 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 the reptilian brain, fight or flight. But it is, of the garden, it is that just serpent, disgusting, just vile piece of shit. And, I hope, hey, trust me, I forgive him for everything that he was or is or da-da-da. But that's how, I can't think of too many people in my life that I was just so disgusted by. And maybe I shouldn't have been, but I guess I was. Disturbing shit. Alright, I know I had some other good shit in here I wanted to show you guys. But you guys keep making me yap, man. No, the irritation of just, them continuing to, getting better at lying, this, that, or whatever, and being just scantless cunts. It gets irritating, and the hardest part is even no matter how much irritating it gets to you, and it's almost like
you mentioned in your speech was that
when other people don't see it, and you're like, fuck. And that used to kill me because, what was it? Josh Christensen. Used to be really good friends with him, and it was like, he didn't see it, and then I realized it was like, oh shit, you just do see it. You just don't care. You're just dirtballs. Alright, whatever. But that was just irritating. I always wanted to bring him over to my house. And I was just like, dude, it's cool. You can come over and shit.
Syndrome going on where they're all acting totally unhinged.
Oh, goodness. Unhinged. Goodness. See? If I have this shit. Oh.
Your values.
I don't know if you guys heard this.
Watch your values
This is disturbing.
Let's face it, cable TV is
You're gonna be pissed. Pissed.
Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. 2 Christian women are facing jail time in Arizona for being Christian and living their Christian beliefs. These 2 women could be thrown in jail because they declined to participate in a gay wedding ceremony since gay marriage violates their Christian beliefs. The city of Phoenix says that Christian belief is against the law. The women's names are Joanna Duca and Brianna Koski, and they own an art studio in Phoenix, a calligraphy studio, where they create custom invitations for events such as weddings. But their names and what they do almost doesn't matter here because these 2 women could be any one of us. They could be you. They could be me. They could be any one of the 173 million Christian adults living in our country, in the United States. Christians who are now under attack by the government for living their Christian faith. The law in the city of Phoenix that could send these women to jail is called an anti-discrimination ordinance.
Really?
And it says business owners can't discriminate against gay people. And that's all good and well, but that's not what's happening with these 2 women. Nobody is turning gay people away from the store for being gay. A gay man did not walk into the shop and the owner said, "Oh, sorry, sir, you can't buy anything here because we hate your sexual orientation." Not at all. In fact, the owners of this studio say they're happy to serve gay customers, and gay customers can buy anything in their store. But it's a very, very different thing for the government to force these women to participate in a gay wedding since gay marriage violates their Christian beliefs. That's what's at stake here. These women use their talents and their skills to create artwork, expression in the form of these invitations. And they don't want to use their artwork to celebrate something that is against their religion. That has nothing to do with discriminating against a gay person for being gay. That's simply the right of these Christians to live their lives according to their Christian morals. It boils down to this. Can the government compel speech from these women? Can the government throw these women...
Sorry, I couldn't. Christians, yes, are the most persecuted people on this plane of existence. But here's like kind of the secret that nobody really knows. We always have been. We always freaking have been. We are being persecuted completely because of our Christian faith. They think just because we're Christians, just because we freaking believe in something, we don't believe that we live on a spinning wet ball rocket, whatever the heck, but we don't believe in their freaking bullshit. I don't want to go there. But that we don't believe in their crap and we actually have some damn values, that we deserve to be persecuted. I mean, they talk about the Holocaust. Well, whether that happened to the degree that they say this, that, or the other thing, whether they were bombed, this, that, why does nobody talk about the Armenian Holocaust? That was documented no matter what. It was at least 1.5 million Christian Armenians were slaughtered, and many more were forced out. And I know it was even probably more than that, but nobody wants to talk about that. But we're supposed to sit here and talk about it's insanity. All right, we're going to finish this, and then I want to hear what the hell you guys got to think about all
in
this.
jail if they refuse to speak, refuse to participate in something against their religion. Can the government throw these women in jail for being Christian? A judge ruling on this case, Judge Karen Mullins of the Maricopa County Superior Court, said it didn't matter that this Phoenix law compels speech, allows government to force citizens to say things the citizens don't want to say. The judge said this kind of speech doesn't count, it's not protected, because it's not, quote, expressive speech. I'm sorry, have you read the First Amendment? Is there an exception for certain kinds of speech that aren't protected? The answer to that is no. This is the First Amendment, and I quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech. Our Constitution doesn't say no abridging of expressive speech. It says no abridging the freedom of speech. But that's what's happening to these women in Arizona. That's what's happening to these Christian women because they're Christian. And it could happen to the rest of us next, unless we call it out and put a stop to it. And that is my final points. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.
No, I've never read the Manifesto Creed. No, I have not.
Want to see more videos like this?
No, yeah, you
on
seriously
YouTube and call your cable provider.
you take those two little and you want to know why they went after him. Just like the people with the cakes, with the cake. We all know this. All right. We all know the people that they went after with the cake. I mean, look how long it freaking took to get, dealt with or whatever the hell. I mean, destroyed those people's business, this, that, the other thing. But that was all because they knew that they wouldn't do it. They were looking for that, Pacific thing. Guarantee, same thing with them. You got to understand, these demonic creatures need something. And you know what's so sick? And, what pissed me off is I like Fox News. But at the same time, I know when you look at it, Fox actually is 666, whatever. Look into it, made videos about it. But no, I appreciate Fox for, speaking more truth, this, that, and the other thing. But when our news, seriously, we have more soap opera in our news. And I think that's why they came out with the mags and the soap operas and all this stuff, to get us to that be something that is more interesting to listen to. And here we are. And this is what it's turned into, a fucking soap opera. And instead of talking about, hey, nobody really wants to talk about or admit that there are all these volcanoes going on. There's all this weird ass fucking weather going on. There's all this shit. You're fucking being sprayed fucking by all these chemicals, this, that, or the other thing that they should actually be talking about. They're sitting here freaking talking about Stormy fucking Daniels and what the hell is going on with this or that means two shits compared to what's going on globally. And when I mean globally, I mean not the heliocentric model, I mean the flat earth model. But what is going on with you, they all consider globally what the fuck ever. There's fucking volcanoes going off everywhere. I've made videos where it shows everywhere that they're having eruptions on Hawaii. This guy made a grid from the first to every single one that's going off, and it's going off in a grid pattern to where the whole shelf, big, not the whole shelf, but a big chunk of the shelf is going to slide off. And it's not sliding off into light ocean. It's sliding down 10,000 fucking feet into the ocean. And it's aimed right at us. Southern California isn't that interesting. You know, there is so much shit going on right in front of our faces that real people are trying to tell people about. I see I lost a couple people because it's probably flat earth. Whatever. Do your research, people. But there is so much shit going on that nobody wants to admit to. And I mean, look at all the pedophilia that's going on. Look at how many people Donald Trump has stopped from being, you know, sex childs, you know, trafficked, this, that, and the other thing. And the media wants to talk about the stupidest shit. And that's where we know that we've literally been taken over, and we're living in the time of the body snatchers. I mean, they keep making movies about the zombie apocalypse, but we live in a fucking zombie apocalypse. We're in the zombie apocalypse right fucking here, right now. Wow, okay. Yeah, well, there are plenty of kitty fiddlers that just need to be jilled. Jill, not these decent women. Yes, yes. But here's the thing: is these you gotta understand, kitty fiddlers. Guess what? You must be on the other side of the pond, motherfucker. Yeah, kitty fiddlers, kitty diddlers. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. But they have more rights than these freaking pure Christian women. That's the sad part. Have you ever heard of a Muslim going to jail? They don't do guy weddings. Oh goodness. Dude, the insanity that I see that they seem to get away with is, oh my god. Slutty Daniels is pure filth, making money, casting money, selling her slag stories. Yeah, no, Stormy Daniels is did you hear about how she got arrested? That was hilarious. Started groping on him. I guess they let her go. It's Revelation. Yeah, it is, but I think Revelation to me is a lot different. It's a great revealing, and I think people are starting to open their damn eyes. I hope, thank goodness. Mark Dice did a video portraying to be, hey, wait, wanting wedding cake. They cast him out of their bakery. I didn't see that one. Really? No, Mark Dice does good work. Tommy Robinson is at the door of the pedo elite. That's why they're threw him in jail. Yeah, but you know what's disturbing too? I've seen things where he talks about being a Zionist, and that scares me. You know, I think we're all like, I think we're all following the Pied Piper, and I don't think we are as much as anybody else. I think we're actually a little bit awake, but I think the whole thing is following the Pied Piper. I mean, who we're trying to fight against isn't even halfway up the freaking deck, mate. I mean, there is so many more levels compared to what we even think that we know about, and that's the scary part. That's the freaking scary part. That's why they hate me. I say stuff like that and other freaking things, but that's the main thing. It's not too much to talk shit about the people that are going on right now around us. They make it seem like it is. But when you start recognizing that there's a level beyond that and beyond that and even beyond that, and they realize you know that and you're talking about it, they get a little bit creeped out and they don't like that. And especially in this digital age, they can completely follow you to a point. But at the same time, when they hear you say things, because they're completely following us, when they hear you say things and understand and know things that they've never trapped on this devil black screen that they use against us, that we're trying to use our best against them, they get a little bit wondersome and they get a little bit angry. That's one thing that I've noticed. when I've come to understandings about things and put out videos and this and that, I've noticed things, and I'm not trying to say this or that or the other thing, but I've just noticed weird things that I wouldn't even want to mention because I know one way or another I'm not special, but I know everything that we're saying, whether it's being used or checked or looked at right now, it's being recorded, completely being used against you later. And that's the one thing. That's why liberals can never be let to come back to power. You see how crazy they are. They go they stop a car and pull out the American flag and freaking go burn it in front of Maxine Waters, thing. And she's like, oh, I'm scared. There's going to be armed people coming to scare me. And it's like, no, that's what your people have done. It's like these people are crazy. And how in the hell do we have freaking Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi? I mean, they're both halfway fucking dead, full way stupid. And these people keep winning their seats. And they don't even live we're in the counties that they take care of that are the most poorest shitholes in the world. And where they live to have 15-foot fucking walls. Really? We are being gang stalked. Oh, 100% we're being gang stalked. I mean, I'm not saying I'm anybody special and like I'm some level 10 or something. Or level 1. I don't know how the fuck they rate it. But I know I've done and showed and said some shit that they did not like. And like I said, I'm not going to explain that. But yeah, I know. The one thing is I wondered too a lot about the dreams lately. Well, and the dreams from before, but still the dreams. I suck. I wish somehow I could record my dreams. I think I could sell some real good movies. But you know how hard it is. They fade so fast from after you, every minute that you're awake after the dream, it just fades so fast. Well, for me anyways. And not even going to get into the dreams, but they just get more and more crazy to a point. And what is funny is I keep laughing, it's supposed to be like 5 days, and I'm not trying to pull prophecy shit or whatever the hell here, but it's supposed to be like 5 days till these papers finally fall that are going to show that the Democrats are completely fucking nuts. And everything that they've been doing is lies, and they're trying to hold to not go to jail. And they're going to pull out every damn stop that they have. And then it's going to be July 26th. And then they're going to pull out every stole, whatever they try to kill him, this, that, or the other thing. Who knows? And then July 27th will be the blood moon that night. And why that blood moon is when I will be turning... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever, I'll be turning 34. It'll be my birthday on the 28th. So I think that's hilarious. I'm just like... Not to say that I'm trying to prophesize or say anything, but I'm just laughing at that because I know so many things that have happened in my life that just fall on weird ways and numbers, and I'm just like, that's hilarious, and it's really weird. And I'm not saying that it's funny, but I have this weird feeling. I'm like, this might suck. Hope I'm wrong, but that is one thing that I keep laughing about. I keep dreaming of Stormy Daniels does Sarah Palin. No, Stormy Daniels, I mean, she's good looking. Sarah Palin, she's adorable. I don't know. I like older women. I'm crazy. But no, Stormy Daniels, though, like, I don't know. I've had my fair share of, women, this, that, the other thing, but more than my fair share, but a couple strippers, blah, blah, blah. And maybe one that, might have hurt herself out. Oh, maybe, but I hope not. Who knows? She was whatever. I'm not going to get into that. That's disturbing. But no, Stormy Daniels, I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole because I know what she is and what she's done. Girl I was with was whatever, blah, blah, blah. But Sarah Palin, oh my goodness. I would not turn that down all day. Like, really? She's pretty hot. She's pretty funny, pretty smart. She is a little bit crazy, but I mean, come on. Whatever. She knows how to shoot a gun. That works for me. Can't stand gold diggers. Nah, gold diggers suck. What was funny with her is when I met her, I met her driving down fucking Sunrise. You drive down Sunrise to just, pick up on chicks. They'd always, at night, make the lights flush red on the weekends during the summer because that's what all the kids were out doing, driving. I just was going to In-N-Out, whatever, stopped at a light, looked at her, smiled, she looked cute. Got stopped at another light, looked at me, blah, blah, blah. Came into the next light and just kind of looked at her again. She was like, hey, you're hella cute. I'm like, well, pull over right there, mall parking lot. Pulled over in the mall parking lot. Freaking was like, hey, what's up? Want to go smoke? She's like, oh, hell yeah. So followed me back to my house. We smoked, hung out. I was just chill. I mean, whatever. I was just chill. And she ended up going home. And then she came back the next night. We smoked. And it was like, she was there like 15 minutes and she just jumped onto my lap. And she was like, well, we're going to fuck her what? It's like, okay. Bang the living shit out of her. Pardon my French. And she was there for like a fucking week. It's like, God damn, are we gonna go home or what? I keep hearing your mom and your dad or whatever, like, telling you to come home and all this shit, and your cat and all this shit. It's like, no, I gotta go all the way up to Pollock Pines to go home, and I just like it here with you. She's like, but yeah, I gotta go home. She goes home. So about 2 weeks later, end up realizing, like, it's like, well, do you work? I haven't seen you going to work or anything. And, like, you're always here. Like, what the hell? And then she's like, well, yeah, I'm a stripper. I'm like, wait, what? I've already been with this chick for, like, over 3 weeks. And it's like, wait, what? Like, well, when the hell have you been going to work? Well, I haven't been going to work. I'm like, well, why not? And she's like, I've just been enjoying hanging out with you. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. And I mean, me back then, like, seriously, I waited until my 19th birthday to have sex. I thought it meant something. It does. But then my 19th birthday, I said, fuck it. And I became a dirty little fucking whore. And then I met her a couple years later. So I'd already made my rounds more than whatever. No, wait, shit. No, it wasn't even that long. No, I was probably only 6 months into being a whore. Pardon my French. Before I met her. But yeah, the numbers are still pretty high. And yeah, that was just a weird thing. And it was just like, well, what is this? And she would literally not go to work. Would not go to work. Because she would go to work, make $600, $700, $800, come home, be like, oh, well, I don't have to go to work. I'm like, aren't you scheduled like tomorrow or the next day or something? She's like, yeah, no, I don't care. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Okay. I'd go to work. I'd come home. My whole room would be clean. There'd be new freaking weird furniture and this and that. I'm like, okay, new bedspread, this, that. I'm like, all right. I came home this one time. And I'm not joking. I had DC all the way from shoes to a freaking hat. All the way up. I think the only thing she couldn't find was DC underwear. But yeah, DC shoes, DC socks, DC pants. Not DC underwear. She almost got it. DC freaking shirt, DC sweater, and DC hat. And it was like, holy crap. Because I used to kind of be a skater, or thought that I was. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was a crazy 2 years with that. And I remember when I broke up with her, she still kept coming around. And then I saw what a con artist she was. And it was like, I mean, I saw many a times that she could have just fucked me. I mean, we were together for a long time and she never did. And I do remember asking her one of the last times that I saw her, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I know you did some pretty crooked shit. I'm like, but you never really, and she was like, yes, I always loved you. I was like, well, you said you're going to have my curly heads and then you turned into a psycho bitch. I'm like, so sorry. And that is one thing that I'll never forget. That was the first woman I was ever with. Because I remember her always saying, you're going to have my curly heads, or I'm going to have your curly heads. And yeah, I mean, I love the shit out of her. First longest relationship I ever had. And yeah, but I mean, psycho as fuck, but great fun. I mean, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching fights, bloody faces, fucking thinking you're gonna kill somebody or maybe even die. This, that bullshit. I mean, it's a great thing to be able to look back on and be like, damn, I did all that and survived all that. But yeah, that was just one insane fucking thing. And I will remember the last time that I saw her. I realized it was like, you've gone way too far and you can't come back, because I really did my best to try to bring her back from all that shit. And yeah, it just finally got to the point I couldn't. But I'll admit, I had some fun fucking times, and I had many times to be a complete piece of shit, and I wasn't. But no, definitely prepared me for the next couple of relationships that I had, because that got fucking way crazy, and we're not going there. Turned into a psycho bitch, ain't that truth? Yeah, she did, but it was fun. I mean, come on, I'm not trying to be a chauvinist pig or anything, but we all know the crazier they are, the better that it is. We all know the better they are in bed. Not trying to be a dirtball, not trying to be a prick, but we all know that. Crazier they are, crazier, yes. But what's so crazy is I always remember the saying that the old dude told me. He was like, show me the hottest chick you've ever met, I'll show you somebody sick of effing him. And that is for damn sure. I mean, you know, even if however long it took, whether if it took a month or 6 months or a year or 2 years to actually get sick of it, it is funny because you can go a year or two after that of not having it, and you're like, oh, how did I get sick of that? We're so brainwashed as men, but when you're young and just all the things, you know what I mean? The chicks that you can get a hold of that and just... It is funny when you think back at some of the hottest things that you ever were banging in your life, and that there were times that you were sick of doing it, and you had to make excuses to go hang out with your friends or just actually go home and be able to go to sleep. Oh, man. Yeah, that is funny. And for anybody that, hasn't had that, I'm sorry, but it is a good thing. Because the older you get, especially where I'm at now, I look at pretty much everything that walks by and I'm like, I know what that's like. But I feel bad because I do kind of feel some people's pain that don't know that, because I waited till my 19th birthday. I thought it was something special. And yes, it is. But like I said, after I did it, I forgot about that. Sarah Palin is my hero. She punched the tight light across in the face. Tight light across. I don't know what you mean. She punched the tight light across in the face. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But no, Sarah Palin is hot as hell. She's hot. I think like I said, she's pretty hot. She's pretty smart. She's really funny. No, she's completely adorable. Alright, what the hell, man? I don't know why I can't find this crap. No, it's not crap, but I was trying to show you. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. What the hell are you guys still doing here? What's wrong with you guys? That's where you're supposed to say, like, what's wrong with you? Hello, hello.
Say, Owen, one of the only...
What's going on?
So we've heard this phrase "civil
This
war"
is
thrown
funny.
around a lot
I
over
like
the last
this.
few years, but most people just dismissed it. They thought it was just rhetoric. That was up until recently. Nowadays, more and more people really believe that we could see an actual civil war in
Watch
America.
this
And
guy's
for
good.
those of us who have studied communism, who understand Marxism, we always knew that this was a possibility. Now, the communist propagandist Yuri Bezmenov said the first steps to a communist takeover of America is to first propagandize, take over the schools, take over the media. That's already been done. He said you have to ostracize. You go after your political opponents, ostracize them, and then you demoralize them. You attack them. You use violence against them if you have to. And that's what we're seeing right now. The final phase is chaos before the actual revolution. I really think we're heading into that phase next.
Oh, yes, we are.
But if you don't believe we're already at the demoralization phase, check this out.
The folks calling for civility might need to check their privilege.
And 25% of the country, whether it's 25, 20, 30%, are hardcore racist. They do not want to see brown people coming into America.
I just got to say, this is the brainwashing that is going on. This is what we need to be scared of. And the crazy thing is, I guarantee if you're sitting here listening to this, you ain't freaking no stupid person that is watching any of their shit. But we got to understand, our families are, our neighbors are, they're listening to this stuff. And we're the ones getting banned from talking truth, because if any of these people actually heard some damn truth and facts like we got, instead of just weak fake emotions, we might actually have something fucking going on here. 1776 world right is right, motherfucker. Excuse me. It's coming if they ain't fucking careful and they don't fucking get it. The one thing that scares me is that we could still just be going along their fucking plan. And you know what? This could just be making instead of the first purge, it was going to be us. First purge could be them. Are we going to be strong enough and smart enough if we purge them or put them into freaking, and I don't mean to ever purge them, but put them into freaking FEMA camps so they can be re-educated? Because we know if we put these people into FEMA camps to re-educate them, they're not going to come out dead. If they're so psycho and they want to, whatever, they might be in freaking insane asylums, but we know if we went in those FEMA camps, we know 90% of us would come out fucking dead. Especially if you had any damn rights or any morals.
Then you, the voter, you, not Donald Trump, are standing at the border like Nazis, going, you here,
Really?
you here. And I think we now have to flip it, and it's a given the evilness of Donald Trump.
Are they just the most stoic human beings? Are they numb? Are they dead inside?
We can't just do rallies. We have to fight back. There will be casualties on both sides.
Oh, so
Anybody
you're going
who
to kill
votes
us.
for and supports a racist is a racist.
You're the
So in that
racist.
clip, you see people from the media, people from politics, and people from Hollywood all calling their political opponents racist and Nazis. And this is part of a huge propaganda campaign led by the left to try to ostracize Republicans. And the left are geniuses at playing identity politics. They've been doing it for a very long time. They were doing this back in the 60s when the Democrats were the party of the KKK. And they've used a narrative that the parties flipped. But this isn't true. Many of the same people calling people racist now, people like Hillary Clinton, people like Chuck Schumer, people like Nancy Pelosi, they were Democrats back in the 1960s when it was the party of the KKK. They never switched parties.
Nope.
But they use this propaganda, this disinformation,
They're using the people
these
they hate
tactics to try to
against
demoralize
us.
their political opponents. And it's only getting worse. In fact,
All right. The only people that can stop the 1% of the 1% of the 1% are actually white males that have a fucking brain. And I don't mean only white males, but yes, white males and Western feeling, loving family people. And that is every race, creed, and everything. Because yes, but still, that is what they want to go against, because that is the only ones that actually can stand up and lead to go against them. That's why they're trying to use everybody else to destroy us, because if we're fighting each other, we can't fight them. And we need to all turn to each other and stick together and fight them. And we will have a beautiful place. Because one thing that I will tell you, my brothers and sisters, everybody keeps waiting for Jesus Christ to come back and save us, or a rapture, or whatever the heck. I look at the rapture, and I look at Revelations, and I look at Doomsday, all this, what they want to call it, freaking apocalypse. I look at that as the great revealing, and the great revealing is coming to us right now. This is the great revealing, and if we are the body of Christ, think of it. We know we're the body of Christ. If we are the body of Christ, is it not up to us, my brothers and sisters, to be the light and the beacon, to give these people the chance to open their eyes? And I don't want to butcher this, but it is said, you go forth and you preach, and if they do not listen, you move forth and you preach to who will listen. And that's our biggest heartbreak, I think, is because the ones that we love the most, we can't stop preaching to, and won't listen.
I think we're seeing right now a huge coordination between Hollywood, between the activist wing of the Democratic Party, and some major corporations to try to stoke this division in America. And I want to show you guys some clips from upcoming movies. And you will see, just like with the old movies from the 1940s and 50s that promoted the KKK and painted blacks as violent as Neanderthals, watch what's coming out in the next few months from Hollywood. I really think they are
Watch
planning
this.
to try
This
to bring
is
this
scary.
nation to its knees, and they're going to try to use certain black activist groups, certain minority activist groups as their shock troops. Because the left, they don't care about those people. They think of them as just that, as cannon fodder. So, yeah, check these clips out.
This is gonna disturb you.
Out of the car. Yo, stop. You okay?
Go back where he told
You ready for your movie, Summer?
Go back where. What did you do?
Today, Garden Heights is reeling after the shooting of a 17-year-old black teenager by a white police officer.
We live in a complicated world.
It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I can't help this. We'll keep going. But here's the issue in our society. You know, you even have white people, you know, just like, oh my God, the most toxic, worst thing is the white straight male, this, da, da, da. Okay, well, let's get into some statistics here. All right. Did you know last year it was reported that 10 white males raped black women? 10. 37,000 black males raped white women. Same year. So what is this that we're stuck at? To where we are literally being oppressed, white Christians, of literally being, and I mean, come on, you call me white, whatever. I'm Heinz 57, German, Irish, Scottish, Italian, Basque. I got some dark in me. Trust me, I'm outside a lot. I'm pretty dark. But we are literally being chopped down left and right. It is fucking sickening. And nobody wants to admit. And, you know, when you come at them with statistics, you're racist. Well, who's more racist? So, you know, even if you're going to say some white privilege and they didn't want to admit this or that, you know, for the, because it was a white man that raped him and nobody would believe him. Let's just say give him 1,000, right? Let's just say give him 1,000. So you're saying 1,000 black women were raped by white men. Just giving them a whole huge jump compared to 37,000 white women raped by black men. Isn't that kind of crazy? Because aren't they a minority? So they're a minority. Black men, because black people are only, what, 12.5, 13% of the population. So what, black men, that's what, we're going to give it 6.5, 6.7? What do you want to give it? Okay, and then when you're talking about black men that are 13 to, let's say, 48 is about, you know, the average of when they say that they rape. So then you go down to only 3.5% of the population. Isn't that fucking scary? 3.5% of the population is committing 37,000 rapes here. When you're talking about a population of, if you just want to say whites, which what? Let's just call them 37%. Even 37%. And then you break that down to eligible. I mean, think about that. Think about that. Is that a little disturbing? Is that a little fucking disturbing to you? I think it's fucking disturbing to me. Race baiting. Well, you know, the whole thing is we need to do this. Trust me, the sharpest sword that we have is our tongue and the pencil. And we need to literally, look, shame and pain. We need to shame these motherfuckers. shame them into oblivion like they're trying to do us. And how are we letting people that are such a minority shame us? Because we've let them brainwash the children. It always starts out like that. How'd Mao do it? How'd they do it everywhere? They always brainwash the children. Think of this. We need to stand up and stop letting them brainwash our children. I'm telling you. That's what this is. Brainwashing.
It's the same story, just a different name. When I attack with impact, it's real tactful. The backpack weighted and sacked, debated to special shit chapter 5. The packet, while seeking threatening her.
It's about more than just color. It's about black people, poor people, everybody at the bottom. I need to speak for him.
You think we could never achieve the inconceivable? We don't belong, but we hear unbelievable.
When you're ready to talk, you talk. Don't ever let nobody make you be quiet. I ain't named you Star by accident.
PC culture has brainwashed everything. Okay, so look. This is what they portray to them and what they watch. Our kids, society. Of the white cop, white this, the horrible person. And then you look at real statistics. And you realize who's killing all the black men. Well, first, number one that kills most black men are black women from abortions. Second are other black men. And did you know, being a white male, you are 20 times more likely to be murdered by a black man than a black man is to be murdered by a white man. So, don't like it when you pull on those statistics. They shut up real quick and call you fucking racist. I don't call that a racist because, think about those numbers. When they're such a small minority to us, should we not worry about that? Should we not think about that? Black men also beat their wives. No, I won't say that. No, there are hella great black men out there. One of my favorite sayings is, our blacks are better than your blacks. Because our blacks are better. You just have to go into their own society, their own realm, where everybody thinks they're just going to be brainwashed. Even their family does. And they've done real research and real understanding. And they try to convince that and show that to people and show them Christ, show them this, show them love, show them understanding. And they're shunned worse than probably any of us could ever fucking know. And they still freaking go there and make the crap happen and try to freaking open. That's why I say our blacks are better than our blacks, or their blacks. Because our blacks actually have a damn brain and they're trying to open the eyes of the others, of the blind. And I mean, not all black people are bad. In no way. I mean, some of them are shit. Some of the greatest people I ever met. But the sad thing is they've been brainwashed for 60 fucking years from the cult that has been taking advantage of them, and they don't even get it. I mean, they talk about, the right being the KKK. I mean, it's been flipped upside down and backwards. If they'd done any damn research, they'd realize the side of the KKK is the fucking left. And it's weird because it's like this Republican thing that it's like, it comes from the South, but it's not, we're not the racist anymore, and we're not the ones that want Jim Crow laws. We're the ones that want all the fair rights, but these people don't even have the chance to even breathe a word of actual reality, let alone truth, because they're stuck in a fucking mind of fucking swamp shit. But here's the thing is, all this swamp shit, all this fucking manure that is sitting here stacking up and rotting on everything, what happens from manure? What happens from manure? Lots of great things grow up from manure. And that's what I hope is about to come. Because I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, we are the body of Christ. And it's time for us to stand up and open the eyes that we can. And do what we must do. in the most peaceful way that we can. All liberals are bad. Yeah, they're not all bad. They're just, a lot of them are fucking brainwashed. Magic mushrooms. Yeah, they're brainwashed with a lot more than magic mushrooms, doesn't it seem?
Announcing the commencement of the first purge. Time, the purge.
Of course, there's always the white guys that are bad guys.
We are here with Dr. May Updale. She came up with this experiment. Is the purge a political device?
It is a psychological one. If we want to save our country, we must release all our anger in one night. Tonight, we'll see the good and evil in everyone.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the first purge.
Our neighborhood is under siege from a government who doesn't give a shit about any of us.
All right, so do you think it's a coincidence that all these movies are coming out this summer after the media's ratcheted up the rhetoric and the division to 10? These videos and these movies are coming out where they all show the same themes. They show people taking up arms against each other, people rising up against their government, cops gunning down people, cops being portrayed as the enemy, whites and middle-class people being painted as vindictive, as malicious, as greedy. No, it's not accident. This is all done by design. It's the same reason you can find all of these compilation videos online of different news outlets saying the same exact thing word for word, even though they're owned by different groups.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
It's because they're being told what to say. These studios are being told what to do by the people in the deep state and in the NGOs who are in the business of stoking revolution, who are in the business of creating crisis for financial gain. If you don't believe me, go look at what happened in Libya before the revolution. Go look at what happened in Egypt before the revolution. Or go watch a little film. I think it's called The Winter Revolution. It's about the revolution in Ukraine. If you watch that movie, you will see what happened there is exactly what's happening here. First, they came out with the Antifa groups, and then they had their little neo-Nazi group with the tiki torch. It looked just like Charlottesville, complete psyop there. You know, and then you have all of these groups coming together, clashing in the streets, and then they have all these different crises that they create outrage around, and they get all these protesters protesting different
No,
things,
that's the best
and then they
part.
get one big protest.
Is, you know, they really thought, I mean, I think they thought we were going to go into a race war. Not even, I mean, even just, you know, middle through Obama's, even before it, I think they've been wondering, well, how the hell a race war hasn't happened throughout almost all of Obama's presidency. Like, I'm not joking, and it never happened. I think they've been completely amazed and astonished. Like, how the hell have we not created a race war? Why aren't these people going nuts and crazy? And they never, like, realize it's like, dude, the world isn't as crazy as you think. Like, not everybody's drank the Kool-Aid, and it's not worth it. But they do find their fucking... Think about all these people. There is this one video that I want to show. Oh my God, I haven't showed it. But it literally shows the insanity of these people. It's almost like these are all the, you know, people that went to lesbian dance class and came out and couldn't find a job and said, what the hell's going on? It's like all these liberal fucking art motherfuckers that think that you can put a used tampon into a teacup and you think that's art, and people are like, it is art and it's worth this. It's like, if you come to see what art looks like lately, it's like, what the hell? Art used to be able to replicate the body of a man, the body of a woman, an eagle, something beautiful. And now this art is just these weird blobs of shape of just shit. It is insanity. I mean, they've lost their fucking minds. Pardon my French. Exactly. Fuck their Kool-Aid. Yep, too much of the Kool-Aid, people. That's what happens. What the fuck?
It's in the middle of the city, and when they get enough people in there,
Most
then
English
somebody
people
gets
have
shot
black
or something happens, the
grandchildren.
catalyst
Half
that caused
my
everybody
family
to
are
freak
black.
out,
We
and then the
ain't
shooting
racist.
starts.
Hold on. Alright. Most English people have black grandchildren. Half my family are black. We aren't racist. We just don't like evil doctrines. No, exactly, and that's the crazy thing is, and nobody realizes, like, the left is the angry one, but when the left owns the media and they're trying to pull their bullshit, it's like they've been able to brainwash these people to like hate, and it's like, dude, pull your head out of your ass, get off the plantation, because they're on the plantation. I mean, we're all on the plantation from these fuckers, but they're really on the plantation. They're not seeing, dude, like, dude, we're in slavery and we need to all stand up and stop it. And that's what we don't get. And it's like, it's not just that one group ahead of us or the group after that or the group after that. It goes up far. And we're all stuck on a plantation. I mean, what's the best way to keep fucking slaves happy? They don't know that they're fucking slaves. I mean, fuck, how do you keep cattle happy? That's why you let them go roam out and fucking graze till you're ready to get them. Because guess what? They don't know that they're freaking not free. And that's the whole thing. That's some shit that can get you killed, mate.
That's what we've seen here. You know, they're ratcheting up the rhetoric. They're ratcheting up the division. Exactly what happened in Ukraine. They painted the politicians there as corrupt. They tried to turn the people against their president, against their representatives, and it all erupted. That's exactly the playbook they're using here. It's the same playbook the deep state and the NGOs have always used. We can't fall for it, guys. But you know what? I'll tell you, if the people are dumb enough to fall for it, if the left are stupid enough to go down this path, let them. We will bring it to them. Believe me, it will not be like these other times. It will not be like in Ukraine or Libya. We will stop them in their tracks. And how we do that? Well, we be smart. Guys, now's the time to start stocking up on food and water. If you don't have MREs, things like that, silver, gold, things that we can trade where we're independent of their financial systems. Learn medical skills, stockpile medication if you need to. That's how we'll win this thing if it goes hot, you know. Let the cities starve. That's what I say. Because, look, all this is happening. It's all seems to be suburban and rural areas versus the cities. And I know there's some great conservatives and great libertarians who live in these big cities. Just get out. Look, we will house you. You come out to us, we'll house you, we'll take care of you when things get hot. Let these people stay in the city, let them fight each other. You know, if they don't have us to try to target, they'll start targeting each other. That's how these people are.
You're throwing all that shit! I'm fucking break the mask off!
Fucking push me!
Take
You fucking push me!
Fuck you! What the fuck?
doing?
All right. Let's see what I can find here. All right, you guys aren't sick of me yet? Like, seriously? Because I'm about to get myself something to eat. And get my ass to
Will
bed.
Rogers once
Oh,
quipped,
goodness.
I don't make jokes, I just watch government and report the facts. And
All right. I'm done, guys. What we got here? Cesspool. Stupid and stupid does Forrest Gump. They school kids during the elections and Hillary. What about Joe Biden? That fucker was sick. But yeah, no, it's all sick fucking crap shoot. All right, well, I want to tell you all, I love you. Thank you for being here. Leave any comments after the video downloads it. Then I'll kind of see if you want me to see anything or you got anything to say. All right, love you all. Thanks.